Big boys that way.
Yo, thank you very much. Always making sure that the mic is now on board.
Yo.
What's king? Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the midday show. I would say shout out to Sharif and Joseph, of course, a happy belated birthday for that. Yeah, Joseph's birthday on Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, I thought you asked about that. Yeah. So we're excited for you guys to come back, see what we're trading again. I only have one position. Once I get a fill, it'll update, but we're short Nvidia right there. We shorted the 187, came back from our little swim there.
How was that?
And it was very good, very nice. The pool was like nice. Like it was a little bit, like it wasn't super warm, not super cold. Like it was
just right.
Great.
Goldilocks zone.
Great temperature there.
Yeah.
And it came right back into some support there or some resistance. So of course, you know what we do when that happens. So yeah, good job there. And we come back with some nice wins. And it's been a great afternoon. I just saw that crazy play there. I was looking at it. Salesforce. Wow, nice move up for Salesforce, up to 250 and bouncing around there. That's nice. Figma also had a breakout. Welcome everybody to the afternoon show. Obi and I will take you into the close here. And anything that starts moving around, ear to the ground right now, right? We've got our earpieces in. We're waiting for the news. And we've got Adair at the desk. We're going to do the rundown that goes over a couple names that you guys have just mentioned out here as well. Zillow debuts a, is Z Zillow? Yeah, okay, yeah, there it is. I just heard ZG in my ear. No, Zillow Group. Yeah, Zillow Group. Okay. So Z there released an app there in ChatGPT, as did Figma. I don't know if you heard that news, but Figma also, Obi, now available, some sort of a ChatGPT thing. My son actually sent me an invite code to Sora. That is the video editing. There's a brand new Sora that's out there. Wow, man, the things you can create with that.
I saw this thing. I got to look into it. It was just like a social media post, but apparently there's this AI that's been trained on like 8 million hours of Netflix movies, and now it can like produce like full feature like films and everything.
I know, that's what he was telling me. He's like creating anime and all this kind of stuff, and it's just like,
I mean, if you have good ideas, like this is the time to put that out there, and like the cost of production is just gonna, you know what I mean?
He has some AI. He has Sora to create like. He said, create this character, blah, 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 who's eating ramen, and all of a sudden the ramen disappears into like the metaverse or whatever. And then within like 5 minutes, honestly, it like created it, and it showed like this guy eating ramen, and then all of a sudden it was like shaking up, and then it kind of blew up, and I was just like, what in the... Like, what are we even doing? But creativity remains king, right? I mean, I think that you still have to put the inputs in there. You have to know what you're doing. You have to create the characters, create the storylines, and all of that. So I don't think it's like a threat yet. To sort of to your realm is what you're saying, creating hours and hours of production for us to, but like the music industry is getting a little bit pissed off because you can now upload similar things. You could upload like all of whomever, the Beatles albums or whatever,
make some new songs,
and then be like, make
some new Beatles songs, and it'll be pretty good at it because it'll. I
don't know, man. I don't know. I gotta get into the right chat here, but so that's gonna be the exciting thing about that. So. Any positions for you during the midday? I saw you walking around outside.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. We'll talk about that in a second, but we got to deal with some business first, guys. Right. Looking for a futures trading platform that actually delivers without hidden costs? With Plus 500 Futures, you get free live charts, transparent fees, low margins, and an unlimited demo so you can practice until you're ready to trade live. Open an account and start trading with as little as $100. With Plus 500's powerful platform, you can access a wide range of futures markets, S&P 500, Nasdaq, Bitcoin, gas, Forex, metals, crypto, and more all in one place. Plus, enjoy a welcome bonus of up to $200 in commission-free trading. Just scan the QR code on the screen to apply for your account today and join over 30 million users worldwide who have already chosen Plus 500. Yeah, no, the weather is absolutely beautiful out there. Went for a bit of a walk around the block. It's great.
It's about to get real cold though. Apparently.
I'm sure.
Not real cold, but we're starting to get into about them times. There it is. So there's my Nvidia trade. We're $1 in on that one right here. It's just nothing too fancy. I talked about this on the midday. They were just too busy, but about 12:30 we shorted that. rated, and I was using the 50-period moving average. So this is really the only time that broke me out of half of what we had left. And then as soon as that happened, we fell back in. We just took a couple VWAP trades there as well, looking to get back out of this and breaking through the 200 period. 186, actually don't have a stop anymore, 186.21. Let's just blow out of this one once that happens, but so far so good here as we get rolling as well. No, OpenAI are not AI generated yet.
No.
Yet.
Not yet.
But hopefully not for a while.
Original.
Hopefully not for a while.
So,
I mean, I wouldn't mind automating some of the trades. I mean, we talked about that as well. I mean, we do have a whole algo department here, and I think that's the next thing about what we're doing as far as automation, and that it's going to be the world of trading. I mean, it already exists. All the black boxes, the algorithms, and all that kind of stuff already kicking through, right? I mean, we have API access in our platform.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and code. And I remember I used to use it to trade. This is way back when I had my red and black lumberjack, you know. And that is that we used to put in closing trades. Just quickly automate them. Yeah, just like we show you.
Because there's like so many, you can, it's to do it manually, it's different.
Simple rules, like nothing hard. Like if the imbalance is a certain size, then do this. Okay. You know, because to your point, you got to throw out the orders, make sure they're all right. Yeah. And sometimes you get, the good thing about algos and computers, you just tell it the rules and it follows them.
It follows the rules.
With us, we sit here.
I'm just like, I wish I could follow my rules a little bit better.
Exactly. So it's like we sit here and we let emotions take over. Or, you know, I'm looking at that there was rocket companies last week, and I had, both Neil and I had it. He got out, in my opinion, too early, but still made some profit. And then the rest of it just started to run up. But I'm sitting there, it's like 50 cents in the money, 75, and I'm just like, okay, I'm slowly taking it. And by the time it finally rips to the high side, you maybe have 5 or 10% left. But if you program something in that said, do not get out of this until this happens, then you stop your emotions from sort of taking control. 450 here. So we had Tesla. Written down here as one, you know, a top trade. I only have a few names traded today, and we'll talk about them. But one of them is Tesla. We broke that 445 early, came back in, bought this 442. That was good. Then bought 440 until it broke, and we never got back in. But it really helped out holding out this 200 period moving average. Now we had seen 450 already today. I have the high, 475. Come on, man. I have the high of 475, which is not right. That's 450. Looks like almost to the penny. Like it didn't break, is what I was getting.
It's $49.99.
Okay, you got it on
$49.99 is the high.
So you got it on TradingView or something. Okay, good. So so I think a 450 break here in Tesla. We've made lots of breaks before and takes. I don't know. Like normally on a move like this, I'll take like maybe 2 units. I'm wondering about a half a unit right now on this break. I don't know. It's up 5% already. We know that tomorrow is a special day, hopefully for Teslas. They've been teasing the release of some sort of a new product or whatever. They were showing like a little propeller or something like that. And
flying car.
Yeah. Bro. Yeah. Is it going to be a flying car? Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
My kids keep on
flying
asking
robots.
me, like, when's there a flying car coming?
What if they're putting like a propeller on the back of the Optimus?
Shout out, yeah. If I go downstairs and there's like this automatically, like, I'm gonna have like software update. It's gonna be like, do you want to install this new propeller? No, I don't think that could be software based. But yeah, Tesla's really cool, man. Love driving that thing. The Model 3 for me is the jam. But if I make more money, maybe
Inspector Gadget. Yeah, exactly.
Inspector
you never
Gadget.
know.
What the hell's my wife?
Inspector Optimus. But,
all right, we've got
the run.
Sorry, go on.
I'm saying, are we going to transition in?
You want to transition?
And it's up to you.
Right, then let's do it. All right, we've got right now Sharif at the big desk. This is the recap. So we're getting ready to run this down. I think AMD is probably going to be on there, maybe some Tesla, and then we'll see what else. Probably some Bitcoin, because right now, congratulations, and a little bit of this as well.
All-time highs. Fresh price.
The crypto space just keeps on booming. And BBAI, I see people in the chat. Oh, before we go anywhere, last week it was 500. What happened? What, you have a bad day over here, Mr. Charlie IMCK? He only had 4,000. I mean, no, I'm just saying, Sharif. Like, last week the guy dropped 5 bills. I mean, I'm not. I'm playing around with you. Thank you. That's awesome.
Congrats on
let me read this, man. 4K day, mainly just following your ideas. Whose ideas? Short AMD?
Boom.
That's the biggest trade for me today. So congratulations on that one. Long BBAI.
Oh Oh my God.
Good trade, thanks. Thanks for the support as well, Charlie. I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, we're glad that you're making some money on some of these plays. If you were short AMD, well, this is what my short AMD looked like, and we don't talk about P&L or anything on this board, but you know, there it is right now. AMD getting back into the lows of the day as well. Again, I wish I was still short, but there's my breakdown on the short. So congratulations, IMCK. Thank you for the HUD, and thank you for your super chats last week as well. All right, I'm glad I was able to get that. I missed it. So thank you for that. We'll keep talking about it. It'll stay up there. Big shout out to you. Let's go over to the desk right now with our own captain. It's Sharif.
Exactly.
Welcome to the Afternoon Rundown, everyone, the show where you decide what we talk about every day. OB, he's in for Neil. The big boys, they're locked, they're loaded, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get those tickers right there is to get into that chat and vote for your favorite ticker every day. It's super easy. Throw in that $sign, followed by whatever ticker your heart so desires. We're going to start off first here by looking at the major averages with the ES up a little bit less than 0.5%, up 0.44. Most critically, though, guys, it is working its way into that 6,800 resistance area that we touched ever so briefly back on Friday, looking to work right back into that area again. The NQ, oh, what a monster the NQ is, leading all major averages on the day, a little bit less than 1%, up 0.91, and most importantly, again, clearing that 100-point level at 25.2. Good look here for the Nasdaq. The only major average that's actually down on the day is the Dow, and barely. It's down 0.09%, and the Russell 2000 doing well again as we continue that melt up on the small cap led index, up 0.7% today on the Russell 2000. Let's first, though, start with the name decided by you guys, TSLA, up almost 4.5%, still way below that 480 level that we got to in the pre-market on, I believe, Thursday it was, but moving up nicely here on the back of this headline. We got two different cryptic messages on the Tesla X account yesterday. Here's the first one. We see just these headlights, and you know, they're a little blinking a little bit. It could be, I don't know, maybe a robo-taxi, the Model 2. We'll have to wait and see. Separately, we got this one as well, a spinning hubcap or wheel by Tesla with the end of the video showing 10/7, which is tomorrow, of course. So we will be covering that for you ad nauseum here on Trader TV, boys. Tesla, #1 stock as decided by the viewers.
Both Obi and I have sort of looked at those.
Yeah, see, that's the first time I saw it. I was like, that's definitely not a propeller or like fins or anything. Those are rims. Yeah, those are the Tesla rims.
Those are the Tesla rims, and you see how it speeds up. So I do think it is going to be.
It does have a little bit of a wobble. I think that's what maybe is throwing people off.
I'd like to
maybe
I don't know. I didn't even really notice the wobble, but I think it's just I think the fact it's spinning higher there makes me think that's more, you know, revolutions, and could be a new, you know, maybe a faster car, or I don't know. Let's get on the road. Like, I don't know. I kind of think it's fun to see these kind of things.
Yeah,
and, you never
the anticipation is nice. Right?
We wrote down 445 long. We had done the work here. This is off the sticky notes, so we have this every day, and we just wrote down 445 long, dropping a new video about a possible new product on October the 7th. So, you know, we'll see if that is what winds up kicking. And then the trade that I took here early, I mean, forget, I'll just review it live, but it is on my X account as well. But there's 445, and if you were looking at this, we had sort of done a little bit of work here and looked at 445 and just sort of looked at it a little bit here. And you can actually, even if I zoom, I can't zoom out anymore, but it was just a top there. We ran into a little bit of action there. It was the top again. Then we had seen this area, 445, and we actually called this, we actually had the sticky note is complete opposite. On Friday, it was 446 short, 445 short, and today it was 445 long. So now that we're above it, we can continue to watch out for that. So how did my day go on it? I mean, it was fine. I wish it was a little bit better. I wish that movement had sort of continued kind of like this during the open, but it's always so wild during the open. And there's Nvidia, boom, $1.50, and we just took out some more there on NVDA. But yeah, there was the long, it broke higher, and then I held it back in for a little bit, and I know Obi and I were also on AMD as well, so it was a little difficult to watch both of these, especially because I was short AMD and long Tesla, so anyways, no excuse, but it came back to VWAP, was a nice trade. Then it fell back into 440. I always like to defend 40s. And even though we wrote down 445, so maybe we should have got away from it, but then we eventually wind up giving a little bit back as it breaks the low. But at the end of the day, great trading for me on Tesla today, and just great trading for the name, up another 4%. We all got real nervous when we touched that 480 and pulled right back. We could be 480 tomorrow. I think we talk about buying options and making these plays, and I don't know, you know, I really would love to have a segment where we talk about options and we talk about future plays and all that, because for me that's like important. But as we look at this, I think Tesla, if they have any kind of announcement tomorrow that is seen as positive, then I really think we can get to that 480 and even take that out tomorrow. I mean, imagine if this car comes in a little cheaper than expected. Like, to me, there's a lot of possibilities here, Obi, for this car to be a successful launch. So let's wait to see what Tesla gives us. But for me, for tomorrow, I'm excited for it. It's October 7th, kind of random day, I feel like. So you could have a push into the end of the week. I like that 480 call, you know, expiring Friday, something like that. I think we could get back into that level and then go from there. And it may be a sell the news type of situation. But yeah, definitely cool graphics, Elon, and let's just see where it winds up going.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I like the way that the chart is setting up. We talked about that 415, 420, a bit of a base that's been holding over the past couple of weeks as well. And in the morning, I was like, yeah, it's going to be interesting if we can get through that prior day high. And guess what? We did. We did get through that prior day high. Current prices are sustaining. You can see this is a 30-minute chart, and it's a pretty clean sustain of the bid after the first half hour here on Tesla. So yeah, a little bit of an aggressive push, grinding push, maybe in anticipation of tomorrow's reveal. I think, like I said, I think it's setting up great. What if we get like a crazy reaction, like something like an AMD today, and we start opening up above above 480 or something like that? In this market, I'm not going to put anything past this market. That's what I've learned, Sean. I'm like some of this stuff is so crazy, so mind-boggling. I'm like, all right, let me just let it show me what it's doing, and then I'm just gonna, you know, just trade it as well as I can. That's all I can really do. But yeah, should be interesting to see what Tesla comes in with tomorrow. Day one catalyst.
All right, guys, SoFi up next, up nicely, a little bit less than 5.5% on the day on really no news, guys. I did a little digging, no really big ideas here, except TD Cowen maintaining SoFi with a coverage of, maintaining SoFi with coverage of maintained, doesn't really say. $23 price target nonetheless, though. Previous price target 22, so about a $1 increase there. Separately, SoFi has been selling off since making highs there on the 22nd of September. The first nice green day, boys, up 5 1/3.
So just quickly, I bought some SoFi in the PA here today, just off the open, so we're pretty happy with it. But that has nothing to do with getting in or getting out right now, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. I just did want to highlight one more thing here, this SPRB. There's a lot of people asking us about Spruce Power right now. It is still halted. So no updates right now on SPRB. The last print on this was 66 flat. And then we'll bring you the story here, as Shkreli apparently now is involved. So this has already been almost an hour. The last print here was 124, so in 21 seconds. So, you know, there's really no time for this thing to open back up at this point. Generally, they're 5 or 10-minute halts, and for right now, it doesn't look like it wants to go. And I'm not sure about the share structure on this, but like it's tapping 105, so the theoretical open right now is 105. So if you're long, you could put a market. I would put a limit on, if you can, a limit on open. We have the ability to do that here. And that limit, if you put it to like 95, let's just say, and it prints 105, you'll still get 105. So I was just gonna say, like, don't let this one open. There it goes. Now it just changes to 110. I was gonna say, don't let this one open. Now it's back to 105. Don't let this one open up and you don't take something out on the first print. It's just halted. It's not staying open for very long. I think at this price there, now it's 105 and 10. Now it's 118. There it's open.
It is open.
So it just opened, I think, at 118. I'm not even sure what price that just opened at, Obi. But there you go. Get something out. If you're in this, it's going to halt again to the upside right now. So this freaking name just went $66. How does that happen live? Like, it's not even on the board, and I'm just covering it right here. So we're lucky to have this. I'm not buying this one, Aaron, but there it is, man. It's SPRB.
Yeah.
Open and closed. So did that open at 105? It looks like it might have, because that's where the start of the candle is, right? So 105 and change there. And again, don't at me. If I told you to take some profit there at 105, I would have done it 1,000 times over. I apologize it's at 105, but great trade. Like what I would do on all of these halts is what I actually do when I'm trading these things, and that is take pieces out. You know, you don't know where the liquidity is going to dry up. So like if you're long this name, now it's tapping 119. So I mean, I'm going to give the exact same advice because Neil, myself, Obi, Joe, Sharif, all of us have sat here and seen these. And I know we have SPRB coming up, so I'm going to ignore it. But just the fact that it halted again, this is probably a 5-minute halt now, I would just take some out. You know, even if you have, I don't know how many shares people would have, but let's just say you have 10 shares, like, because just something realistic. Actually, who cares? Share size doesn't matter. Let's just talk about percentages. If you take out like 15% on all of these halts, even by the time it comes to a third halt, you should still have 50% left. You know, 15, 15, 15 leaves you with 55%. So I would think that, that's right. I would think that that's a good trade. All right, so anyways, congratulations to everybody on that one. Remember what happened last time with, was it QMMM or something like that?
Yeah,
QM.
I think it was crazy,
Yeah, it eventually went to 300 or something, and then pulled right back, and then closed the day like at $60 or something like that. So don't get it twisted. Like these names can like, you know.
No, I have a trader friend who was like on the call, and he was trading it like crazy, and we were just like listening.
That I was talking about, or this, or the QM.
No, QMM.
Yeah.
That one was absolutely wild, man. It's just the way some of these just keep on going, and then the momentum through the halts is just wild, man. But the thing is, like, I'd feel way more comfortable trading it, even with smaller size. With I would say if I had like a much bigger shutdown, then I can be like, I'm going to give this some sort of insignificant amount. Right. But crazy.
Mike Dundee, we're going to go to SoFi right now. So let's do that right now. Couldn't you guys put the percentage size left or right next to the price? So it's on here. It's on our charts. It's on all of the charts, and we have it at the bottom. We have like a scrolling like hot tickers type of thing that we try to update every once in a while. So I don't know if it gets updated every day or not, but those are sort of the hotter names that are trading at the bottom, but that's the best we can do. This is proprietary software here at Real Trading. So I bought some SoFi off the open because I had just seen enough. Like there wasn't enough names that I want to put money to work. I'm a long-only trader pretty much, so I want to get money in when I feel like dips have happened and on stocks that I can get behind. I really like JP Morgan's my #1 financial holding, but I want to get part of this game as well. SoFi hasn't even really focused on crypto. We do know that they do have a crypto offering. Ford, is that a breakout? What's up, Vaughn Clark? Well, we'll answer all these questions as we go. But there's the move down from 30 down into 25 and 26 bucks. So a 50-period moving average was a buy. I got long at 25.71 this morning. So almost, I actually didn't get in right away. I got it once it sort of broke through here. And it was like basically 10 o'clock when we bought some. And we had talked about it on the show. I said to everybody, I'm going to go in. I bought some SoFi, so we did that. So we went in there and bought a little bit of SoFi here this morning. So it was a pretty good trade. I feel like I like the stock. We had Mitch on. He was calling it like sort of the financial Palantir or whatever moving forward. We already seen the aggressive move up in Robinhood. So yeah, I think SoFi is just a matter of, it's like a ticking time bomb and waiting to go explode to the upside. Not that it's going to blow up. I really like SoFi. It's up a lot, and I think it can go higher. So yeah, that's my look. And plus, I want to diversify a little bit. I mean, I'm all about Apples and Teslas and Nvidia and that whole Mag 7 love. So
there's so many good companies, dude.
There's so many good names, and I actually bought some Target at lunch. We'll talk about that. TGT.
Nice. Yeah. No, I think for SoFi, no real news on this one. Bit of a pop, but I like where it's popping off of. So it's like usually when something's kind of moving aggressively and there's no news, I'm going to be like, that's probably purely technical. And then just throwing up some of the indicators. Guess where we're bouncing off of, Sean? This is anchored VWAP from prior earnings right there. You can see we reclaim, we hold, we get a strong day, back-to-back days of selling. Guess where it finds the bid? The same kind of average area where it found one last time, which is the anchored VWAP from earnings, right? So it's like it's looking good. Let's see if this bid can sustain now, because bigger picture, it is in an uptrend for multiple, at least since April, aggressive uptrend alongside with the rest of the market here. So this anchored VWAP, I think I'm going to keep a close eye on. That's in and around that $24.80, $25 level here for SoFi. But yeah, if we're going to break this downtrend and the buyer's going to continue off of the earnings reaction highs. I think that's a little bit, that looks like a little bit of strength to me. The question becomes, is there going to be follow through? Intraday, I think opportunities definitely were there if you were watching it, because look how clean this opening range high hold was off of the, in and around, was it 10, off of whatever happened here, aggressive push. Right? This might bring your attention to the stock if you're not looking at it today, because you're like, whoa, where are you running? And then pulls into opening range highs for a nice little stair step up for some fresh highs here as well. So nice strength post increasing or incoming volume that came in around 10 o'clock there on SoFi. So good look.
Rob, watch out. AMD. All right, guys, up 25.5% following significant agreement with OpenAI. The deal involves deploying about 6 gigawatts of AMD Instinct GPUs for OpenAI's next generation infrastructure, and an initial 1 gigawatt rollout of AMD Instinct, the MI450, their latest GPU, guys, planned for the second half of 2026, off the highs at 226.71, looking like it's going to lose that 205 level now, guys. What's the look?
Oh, AMD, okay, so we got some big super chats for AMD. We want to thank everybody for that. And again, it was a big idea of ours today, and that is to look, obviously, at an AMD. A great story, though, man. I mean, up 25%. It just touches its all-time high again and fades off of that 230. I think both of us were kind of looking for a long if we could have broke through that 230, but at the end of the day, the short seems just to have been easier, right? And as soon as we started to go down there right off the jump, right there, our spidey senses just went off and was like, you know what? This move down, we've already missed the top. If it comes back up, fine. And I was like, I'm just going to short this 220 break, man, and give it like $2 or maybe even less than that of risk. I didn't even have to worry about it because as soon as we shorted it, it just kept on going. So that was a 220 break. And I mean, honestly, it really made the day. Like some of these outs there are 207, 208 for like $12, $13. Now you're breaking lower. Just wish we still had some more. We have Nvidia right now, which is $1.50 in the money. But yeah, there goes the short there on AMD. I don't know where all these players, or where OpenAI is going to get all this money to pay everybody, but it's a good deal for advanced micro devices. We tried to also go long Nvidia at 185. That didn't work. So then we tried to short it, which also didn't work. Then we came back and found something that does work. And there's the short up here at the day's high for Nvidia. So you were talking earlier about once, twice, thrice, 4, 5, 6 times you can lose, which is completely true, as long as your stops are a little bit tighter and your wins are a little bit bigger. So I kind of put on my Obi thinking hat there, which is just more about what we talked about, because I always try to do plays like this, but there's the nice move all the way down in for Nvidia. Glad we were able to take some of that as well. So just the chip name short today. SOXL, SMH, the whole sector, Obi, hit all-time highs right off the jump, right? But we still had Broadcom down and we had Nvidia down, and now it looks like AMD's not going to go red by any stretch of the imagination, but is pushing those lows as well right now.
Yeah, 206.20s right now. I mean, I have it on watch. It's one of the main things I've been trying to trade and kind of getting involved with throughout the day. Absolutely crazy move. We were over about 35% up coming in off of the open, and I kind of described some of these levels in the morning session. So let's see where we're sitting relative to that. So we had some anchored VWAPs. We had some support and just basic support and resistance levels of the ultimate tops and bottoms that were made within some of these consolidations here, and yeah, didn't really hold the bid at all, except for a couple of times where it might have come in for maybe a reversion towards VWAP, but since then kind of just lackluster trading sideways. We've seen this kind of action more and more on things that are strongly directional off of the open or in the pre-market. They'll make a strong move. They'll either sell off aggressively or buy up aggressively and then just go sideways, chop for the rest of the day. We're seeing more and more of that behavior here, and AMD is exhibiting just that right now. Look, we just broke that day low. Am I looking for a total breakdown? Probably not, because it's just showing me that it's going to chop around for hours straight. We break that low and then we bid right back up within the range. So I'm not really doing anything much with this right now, other than observing the fact that we are holding below VWAP. Sellers are definitely in control, but don't forget, this is day one. It was up 35%. Are sellers in control? Yes. So we got to respect that a little bit, unless and until buyers kind of start stepping up. But absolute craziness in this market with this kind of move, on a day like today. hopefully you guys caught some great opportunities. I know we had some solid trades in the morning as well. So that was AMD. And I don't know if it's over. We'll watch it going into the end of the day as well. If it does start doing anything distinctly different, then it could be something. Do you think the what?
I think the pullback is real a little bit because it's just up a lot. That's all. But we want to remind everybody that over 3.8 million concussions are reported yearly in the United States, and there are still no FDA-approved treatment. But there is NYSE listed Oragenics, symbol OGEN, that is now changing that with its first in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access, with the concussion treatment market projected to reach roughly $8.9 billion by 2027. Wow. Oragenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule your meeting by clicking on that QR code there or go to oragenics.com. We want to thank them for their continued sponsorship. I mean, obviously that's an important thing. And if you've suffered through a concussion or know anybody that has, go have a look and see what you can do to support the cause and to educate yourself more on possible treatments. Okay, that's it for AMD. All right, here we go, man. Has it opened up again? We shall find out. Let's go find the story with Sharif, then we'll get right back here and see some price action.
It is open, guys. Here it is, 120.57. That is the high. It is up 1,200, 1,310%. It is a 125.16 high. It just jumped $5. Spruce Bioscience is up big after the FDA granted breakthrough therapy designation for its TAERT for, forgive me if I mispronounce this, Sanfilippo syndrome type B. It's an ultra-rare genetic disease characterized by an enzyme deficiency, guys. A plan by the company here to submit a biologics license application, potentially offering the first disease-modifying therapy for this condition. Here it is. It's going to halt again. It is halted again at 128.86. And boys, I'm seeing the tap now. The theoretical auction price at 150.
So crazy because we talked about this at 115 when it opened back, or 105, and I was like, take some out at 105, and then right there again it opens back up around, it looks like around 120, and now halts back to the upside at 128.80, and now you're blasting through up to 150. So I don't know, Shkreli has a 5 bill or so like that price target on it, 500 or so. That's ridiculous. There's no idea where it will stop. I think putting a price target on it is just silly, but that doesn't really matter. I mean, as we can go on, it's a great story, and we've seen, stocks like this continue to go for quite a long time. And eventually it'll pull back. But if you're in it, I don't really know what to tell you. The float is only 500,000 shares, and I think that's like, I got to see. This is where I think creating a scanner, Obi, for like these opportunities. Now, we saw it in the morning and it was halted for a while, and then it just didn't give you much trading opportunities. But then it did open back up and in around 10 o'clock or so right there, and it actually dipped. You could have got this name at $33. So this is what I don't understand. Like, all of a sudden, right here about 12:47, is that basically when the tweets started happening? Because, like, why did it start to do this at 12:30? And, like, if this is just going up because now we have some guy tweeting about it,
It's the Shkreli pump.
This is where, I know it's a Shkreli pump, but this guy also called quantum to zero. Like, so I know this is a biotech and this is more in his space, but there's no way that he knows anything really about the price action on this stock. Sure, it might be a great stock to own for what it's solving, and I apologize, I missed exactly what it was up to, but we do know that it's obviously science-based, and love the stock, but I actually don't really like the price action. I think the SEC can eventually do something about this, but when you're done 10 million shares on the day and the float is only 500,000, I just wonder what curbs need to be in place. But hey, man, it's free market. So if this market wants to run higher, then giddy up, and congratulations for everybody. And if that's the Shkreli bump, then all we can really do, Obi, is, and maybe we can confirm that, but maybe we can just think about it. The next time we see something like that, we just have to go in. And I think even if it's with 10 shares, and you lose $10, it's $100. Like, I'm sometimes sneezing and that money is gone.
Right?
Like, it's just take the opportunity to potentially have like a $100 winner. This thing was frozen at $30 all morning. No new news came out. We just got a pumper. So there it goes, man. Nice move for SPRB, Spruce Power, continues to go. Someone has 100 shares. That's great. What's up, Santo, eh? Send some over here, my guy. I'll get out of those for you quickly.
I'd say only have a one lot. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I think this one was on my radar in the pre-market because of what it was doing, and then I just kind of took it off there. But you can see this probably attracted definitely some intraday shorts, even if not in the morning session. They're in and around the midday session where you do make a lower high and start to bleed off. And again, that wasn't bad. That wasn't a bad short. It gave you 45s to 35s. But did we know it was going to halt up and do this craziness? I don't know. I don't really know. I didn't really look at the float or anything like that too crazily. But you can see, kind of sells off. Low volume, can't really get anywhere, and then we start breaking some of those highs. Oh boy, are some of those shorts definitely kind of sweating, or if not blown out, definitely sweating pretty aggressively, I would say. And yeah, this is definitely a recipe for potential parabolic squeeze. It's already kind of doing it, and it's holding some of these levels. And if Buddy Online is like, okay, well, $500 price target, and he has a following, and people are just jumping into this, the shorts are offside right now, but eventually there will be a backside, and then eventually the longs will be offside as well. So I think that's something to watch out for. If you do have a higher risk appetite and a higher risk tolerance, I think the up move, I'm just going to stay watching it. The backside might be interesting if and when it does come in, but shorting a day one parabolic mover like this, definitely not something that I want to touch with a 10-foot pole. Something nice to watch though. I think there's a lot more opportunities here across the board which align with my playbook, and I think that's what you got to be looking for as well. Now, if you're a halt up trader and you trade stuff like this, you should be all over this stuff. Right? That's like, if this is your bread and butter, you are definitely playing Spruce Biosciences on the day today. So let's see what it holds for us.
There goes its open again.
Open again, 150.
Yeah, so
right?
it does open up at that
Straight
150,
squeeze.
and now it's going to halt
once
again.
Yeah,
it looks like right now at 140. Yeah. Actually, so no, my bad, Obi. It looks like it opened up at 135 right there. Now
boom, another one.
You can't even really like speak about it, and then just halts up again. I think now it's not halting up with the same excitement to it, in my opinion. I think this is the top for SPRB.
All right, guys, Archer Aviation last on the list here, up 16.5%. What a great breakout trade today for Archer. There's really no headlines. It was Joby that was flying their all aircraft at the California International Auto Show, but there is unusual options activity here, as it's widely being speculated online that Tesla and Archer may be teaming up here for some sort of aircraft, eVTOL or other. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, that comes tomorrow. So here is the unusual options activity. It looks as if the options volume is extremely heavy, with about take it easy, Joe, about 518,000 contracts traded, and calls leading puts for a put-call ratio of about 0.21 compared to a typical level of around 0.33. Implied volatility also up, boys, about 28 points near that 113 in the top quartile of the past year, suggesting an expected daily move of about 95 pennies. Long story short, unusual options activity on Archer.
Anything for you on that one?
ACHR. I
might get shares shortable here. I'm going to see what they cost for on this.
I didn't really see this in the morning, but I guess definitely a bit of a continuation from Friday. Here's strength coming into the end of last week, and then push up potential, push up through that pre-market high, and giving us more of that long here on the day. So again, not one that's definitely on my radar, but let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at the weekly. Let's see where it's sitting. Let's see what it's up to, because you guys are interested in this. So we shall see what it's doing. So okay, higher time frame highs, 1392s over here, and almost up there, 1347s currently. So nice consolidation. Highs that we're about to maybe potentially test. The high is 1392, so just shy of that $14 level. And it seems, I don't know if this has had any splits, but all-time highs all the way from 2021 sitting at 1860s. So yeah. Crazy movers, man. Crazy movers. All-day trend. Nice. No real sign of strong selling, especially after the morning session. Nice little grind up there. Some volume pops, probably on high day breaks. Yeah, there you go. This candle that breaks that high, just definitely getting rocked. Probably shorts getting rocked as well, and then breakout traders as well pushing into it for that continuation. So Archer Aviation taking a little bit of a flight, but missed that one there. Might have been a little late to that, but shout out to anybody who had it, and thank you for pointing it out. I'll put it on the radar just to see if there's that continuation and that bid will continue to happen the next day. So we shall see. But where's the next trade? That's what I'm asking here right now. AMD still kind of consolidating near its lows right now, Sean. So
yeah, we're still $1.50 in the money on this Nvidia trade. I just bought some shorts. It's going to cost $9 for 100 shares. So $90 for 1,000 if you really want to get spicy with it. But I'm thinking, I just tweeted it out, I think this SPRB might have found a top, but I want to wait for that. So I'm going to keep it open over here. Wow, that AMD, yeah, 106 right now. I'm going to keep it open and see. Okay, now the tap is 156, so 155. So this is going to open up. We did just halt. I'm not short now. I'm not calling like this price. I want to see what it does at the next flip up there to the downside potentially. So we do have an open in about a minute and a half. It did show 236.57, so 241.57, so 1 minute now, and we will get that open SPR to the B. What's everyone talking about? SOPA. Like, I had a shower this morning, used some SOPA there. I had a shower at the gym, used some SOPA there. So right now, this is starting to go higher right now. And I say, oh no, Adara's not there. Okay, so, oh. Okay, she just got back. That's okay. So SOPA, we'll find out about that story momentarily. Okay, I do want to watch out because here comes Spruce again. It should be open up in just 30 seconds, and we'll see where it winds up going. But yeah, we'll have to watch out there. SOPA, nice move up to 460, taking out some levels. We do have 20 seconds until that name's open. Ooh. I like Sopra Sata, that's for sure. But this into here right now, $5, I think we've seen this before. No, maybe not, because I would have commented like it would have been in the last couple of days. But watch out for 550 top on SOPA. Okay, here we go. Spruce 161 right now. I don't really want to get involved until I see sort of like a halt down, is what I'm thinking there, Obi. So I'm going to try to be patient and see if we can get some kind of a halt down on this stock and able to do some damage there if that's possible. But that's kind of what I'm waiting for right now. So there it goes. There's the 5 minutes, and it did not reopen. So SPRB actually opened up, I think, 5 minutes, the last halt, but right now trying to find its way. So we'll have to see where and when this name becomes open. What's up, Adara?
It's a little odd that I do have the catalyst here for SOPA. So Ascendient Capital, which is a research firm, they released a note talking about Society Pass's strong Q2 2025 revenue and about how they've raised their revenue forecast. Now, here's the thing. Society Pass reported Q2 revenue on August 13th, so almost 2 months ago. Bit of a delayed reaction here from Ascendient Capital Markets, but either way, the small cap certainly reacting positively to that note. Back to you.
Okay. Yeah, that's what it was. Society Pass. The name does ring a bell there, SOPA, but yeah, nice move there. We recently, I also tweeted this out as well. Oh, let me just quickly hurry up about this Nvidia because I don't want to get people too excited about it. We are pretty light on our shares left. We have only about 5%. So basically, most of the out was right here at the 200 period. I'm trying to do better, and that is to hold until we break the 50. So I got out of a significant part there when we broke it. That was at 186.40s or so. So that was like, so when it comes back in, I'm trying to use the 200. If I can ever go bottom to top, which would be like this move, or top to bottom, I do want to use the 200 period moving average as much as I can. So because sometimes I get a little burned. I hold it and it just goes right back up. So today it actually worked out, but I still use the 50 there. So we don't have too much left. And right now we're hovering around VWAP. So I am going to take this opportunity to push bid enter. So right now I'm bidding 185.70 on Nasdaq. So there it is. So it takes me out. So now, cool, we are now out of Nvidia with just that 2.5% left, waiting for a lower bid. So hopefully that can come in. My big trade that I have in the swing account is Marvell, and today again up another 3 and a bit%. We got some out on Friday, live on the show, so that might have been a mistake. We leave 3%. Man, that's loud. We leave 3% on the table there, but still pretty good. That SPRB still tapping 160. Let me know what all of you guys think about that. I just put it here on Twitter. What do you guys think about that Target buy that I just did? Target right now is down 44% year to date. I thought with this all-time low valuation, I think there could be some activism soon on this. So I don't know if that's true. I didn't even look at like past activist movements in Target, if there even existed or not, but something's going on there. You know, you have many retail names that are pushing, I mean, not pushing highs, but pushing better than the way Target looks, including a Walmart, including Costco, which I know is on the downside. And I know right now is not the best time to be going into retail. I can fully, it's not a full position or anything like that. I want to start Target, see where we go on that trade, because I do think that there is some get up there with TGT. So that was an idea that I had. Basically going long right about now. What is the current? I'd have to go look at the price we got filled at, but I think it was around 89.50. Like we just did it. Like maybe actually probably better. Like I think we did it just as we were going on air or whatever, maybe just before that. So yeah, let's call it 89.50. At the end of the day, we're long right here. So let's wait to see what Target is doing. And then Open Door, I just saw someone talking about that one, 923. Yeah, man, the Open Army is strong today. I was just playing around about Big Bear versus OpenAI. Have both, or Big Bear AI versus Open, have both, man, as both continue to work out. This one's a much nicer stock because it's been having this level at 7. BBAI only it's okay. Well, all right, my bad. I thought it was a little lower than this. I was gonna say BBAI doesn't look as bottomy as Open. It looks like Open had bounced off of 7 a couple times. We were just playing this long off 650, which we stamped that long last week. So 650 to 750. I mean, at some point we got to not let our greed take over and just be able to take profit. So this is another key level, man. Get out at $8 if you just recently took that long, and let's see if we can get that 850 that we're looking for.
Yeah, and I'm sitting over here just kind of like looking through some of these charts, looking for the next potential trade. So I want you guys to throw it up in the chat. What are you guys trading? What's the next thing you guys are looking at? And I'll be right back. So we got some news here. Exciting news for Canadian sophisticated traders. Beta Pro by Global X Canada has just launched 6 new triple leverage ETFs, offering 3 times bull and 3 times bear exposure to the S&P, TSX 60, semiconductors, and U.S. Treasuries. Even better, they're offering a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st of 2025. These ETFs also employ a currency hedging to seek to neutralize U.S. dollar exposure, providing performance that may more accurately reflect the underlying U.S. equity indices. If you're a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca/3x daily to learn some more.
Dude, SPRB opened down. I tried. Hand to whoever. I tried to get that short at 135. I was sitting there on gateways trying to get that short there. It didn't print that many shares. Someone, you lucky son of a, somebody on a dark pool got like 6,000 shares. Wow. You know, I was only trying for 60,000. But yeah, I mean, crazy there. And look, we just tweeted this out before that opened up. Like you can timestamp it, right? This is 9 minutes ago. Feels like we just took a high. I was like, feels like we might have found a top on this last halt. Now it's halting. Now it's tapping 131. All right. Well.
Yeah. Where's the next trade? That's, you know.
Yeah, but I found the next trade and I missed it.
Yeah, that was.
I didn't miss it. I tried it. Now it's tapping 128.
Those things are tough to catch. Like I think you had to cross like a few dollars probably. No.
I didn't get short during the halt. I feel like I was on the gateways there. I was on cheap gateways, and I just feel like I could have had that and didn't. That's too bad. A little frustrated for me there, Obi, but that's okay.
It's all good.
You see, if you take 100 shares there, it's now $10 in the money.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
That's all I was trying was 100 shares. I'm just playing around. Like anybody that thought I was trying more than that, that would not be the case right there. But hey, man, 100 shares, $10. I don't know where it's going to open up, but right now it's tapping 128. So would have been okay. And if I would have got those shares, I'd get out half right now immediately off whatever this tap is.
Yeah, I think Mike. Okay, so I see you guys in the chat, kind of pointing out some stocks So let's take a look at a few of those, and maybe we'll find something interesting there as well. So people still talking about open going to 10. I don't know about that, but okay, all right. Well, open, yeah. You just talked about this. This thing is blasting off currently over the past few minutes here. So yeah, that $8.80, maybe $10 incoming. So that's good. I'll keep an eye on this one. So thank you for that. I'll pull it up and put it up on my basket here. Robinhood is about to break prior day's low, so that might be interesting. I'll take Ford out of there and replace it with open because Ford's not really doing much that I can really work with right now here. But open door, good look on that one. Maybe potential for reversion. Now? But maybe a potential for continuation as well. People talking about maybe seeing a $10 level as well. All right, so what else do you guys got? DVLT, let's see, GLW, open and plug. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at some of those DVLT. I'll tell you what I'm watching as well alongside. I'm watching some QUBT. Yeah, no, it's not QBTS. QUBT at the same time. I'm watching some Palantir. Nothing too crazy there. And Circle as well. But they're not really doing anything that I would be interested to take just yet, but maybe setting up for something. So I do have some eyes on those. DVLT, nice. It seems like another small cap runner here that is going absolutely bananas. Data Vault AI technology. Okay, so let's take a look at some quick stats on this one. Does it show me float? 11 million. Okay, so 11 million float, and it's done about 106 million shares on the day. So nice little churn of the float happening since about, I guess, whenever this bid came in, we really started to ramp up. That was around 115-ish on DVLT. So good look there. Let's see what else you guys got. I think we did the open, we did DVLT. Right. Okay. So plug is one of the top volume leaders of the day. So it was on radar in the morning because of the crazy kind of gap up action that we were getting. But off of the open, I didn't really pay too much attention to it. But seems like sellers were very much in charge off of the open, and we've been reverting in a very slow and steady, nice little look grab of the low, slow and steady bid that's just been grinding back towards VWAP since then. Excuse me, about over 50% retracement here on the day off of that opening range on Plug Power. So good stuff on that one. Let's see, Tesla. I know Tesla's kind of pushing. Where is Tesla over here? Tesla's pushing, just a grinding bid right now. Maybe we see that 450 push. Oh boy, we did get that 450 push. 450.73. So yeah, take your eyes off of things in this market, and they're going to be in distinctly different places later on. I think last time I was looking at it was at 448s down here, and we were just talking about it potentially maybe coming in to test that 450 eventually or soon enough. We get it intraday. This grinding bid is crazy, man. 100% reversion, and then just grinding up against that since the open here. So Alphabet's looking pretty strong. Google is printing fresh highs. Oh boy, I don't know what this was intraday. I guess I missed this news, whatever it was on Google at 133-ish, where we got that aggressive selling. Guess what? Buyers are definitely very much in charge on the day as we got bought right back up for a nice breakout and grind to the upside. 250 push on Google. So relative strength here on Alphabet, and then Microsoft as well. Microsoft is aggressively bid up as well. 530.70s are the current high, and then Mixel Ventures is saying BTC 126. Are you telling me that we're continuing to hit fresh highs right now on BTC? Yes, we are. 126 flat as of right now, only about $2 away from that. That's probably going to get taken out soon enough. You know what? I think it might be time to go to a little bit of a higher time frame on this one. Let's go straight up to a 3-month chart and assess some of this. How have we been building into it? And does this look like it's poised for a bit of a push? Oh boy, indeed. So yeah, prior bar high break on the 3-minute, obviously, with the all-time highs, but nice little consolidation, that 80K hold, that 100 push. I really liked this breakout, Sean. This breakout was the place to be for me, and I think this breakout, again, it looked like it was a 70K breakout, right? So I was just like, yeah, I really like it there, and that wasn't that long ago. That was just the end of last year, right? October 2024. So that was a really, really nice breakout, and that's been continuing. We chopped consolidation around 100, and then nice little acceleration and push. So bigger picture price action. Beautiful follow through on this one. And again, people are long and strong Bitcoin, and for good reason as well. So good look on that one. I'm sure Joe's all over that IBIT as well, and a lot of I guess crypto coins printing. I think somebody earlier asked me if I'm still holding my Doge. And that's a hodl. That's a hodl.
I asked.
I looked. No. I know you did as well. But somebody in the chat earlier today, they were like, "Are you still holding your
Isn't
Doge?"
all crypto a hodl though?
Some of them.
I think for us around here. I mean,
we don't really paying too much attention. Like I'm not actively trading.
That's what I mean.
Like I'm not actively involved.
I don't think it's.
Just wait for prices that I like and just hold on to them.
No, I just mean like I think if you keep trading in and out of Bitcoin, I think that's
good.
No, I don't think so. But I just think it's very hard to catch.
Yeah, it moves like, yeah.
It's just like, because I don't know if you'd be in this move. Like, it's just if you're always waiting for support and resistance, sometimes I just feel like it can go. But there is a 24-hour market. So that's sort of the other difference about Bitcoin versus equities, right? Is that you could put some, like, I was just going to look it up. But the last time I bought was when we, all right, I'm just waiting for this thing to open up. Like, I don't know when this is going to open up, this SPRB here, but just waiting for it to do that. And I just want to remind everybody, I do have Nvidia on target here. And 186.20 was my next stop. I mean, we got out of half, and I think we did a decent job explaining to you guys about those trades. But we did get out of half of what we had left right there at VWAP. And now I'm going to use that as my next sort of target there. And that SPRB, I am a little bit like, I don't want to say upset because I don't really know where this thing's going to open, but it would have been nice to grab that 135. I mean, we did talk about it. I went in there and paid for shorts on this. Yeah, so we missed it. I was trying to, man. I was sitting on, I mean, I wasn't sitting on ARCA. The thing is you can't, so like a C is the NYSE, which you can get on here as well, even though it's a NASDAQ name. These are all dark pools, so that could have been, we have access to like pretty much all the dark pools out there, so I would have no idea which one that is. That was the big trade. Somebody hit about 6,000 plus on a dark pool there. So that was, I think, the best. Yeah, I think that was probably the best trade for somebody there earlier. But
that was so fast, man. It's probably an algo that just punched in.
Oh yeah. You know,
it was like,
I was like literally
boom,
on the stock. Watching it, and I was on. Oh, so there's that Y there, which is a good one. That's the Ys, so that's a cheaper gateway to trade with as well. So like, see Y, but like there's only 20 shares, 5 shares. But again, I was only trying to take 100 shares. Like, I mean, that's all that I paid for, and that's it. So I wasn't, and that's what I was trying to say in the chat. Like, I'll generally use more shares. Obviously, 100 would be like the bare minimum on other stocks, but just on this one, because of how violent it was, 121. So, yeah, that was a big marker there. So that, we just, we got Bitcoin, Joe. We got much bigger things here.
Oh, yeah.
We were trying to get that short there. That was 135. So right now we'd be $20.
Beauty.
Like, why isn't it halting now? Now it's going to halt? Anyways, that's crazy. So we would have got out of half there, and now we'd just be like cruising. This is almost better than like any sort of an IPO trade. But I mean, we had called this. We tweeted it out as soon as it opened back up, and the best price we probably could have got was 135. But there goes 110. And I wasn't trying to throw shade at Shkreli or anything like that. I was just saying, like, there's no way these price targets made any sense. It's going upside because of the liquidity issue.
I mean, he's a smart guy.
Oh no,
but here's the thing: that's usually a lot of smart people's downfall when it comes to the stock market.
Nah, he's just doing that to get a higher price.
Like,
this dude is out of the stock.
People try to get smart with the stock market. I mean, like we've learned how that kind of pans out over time.
Trust me, he's out. He's out of the stock already. He's just putting that out there. But what I was going to say is that 500 could be where it lands. Like, you know, in a couple of weeks, months, this could be a $500 name, but I didn't think it was going up there on that. But we've seen HKD. There's many names that continue to climb higher. So SPRB, there she blows. And Joe wanted us to, I mean, my crypto account's at all-time highs. I have no qualms, obviously, with this one. And you guys know that we were selling some of the runs in these other names and getting into BTC. Like, that was the whole point of doing that. And I told you I was getting out of some of my stocks and getting into ETFs and S&P 500 or Nasdaq just to enjoy that. And I was doing the same thing for Bitcoin. Obviously, Ethereum here over the last 7 days up nicely. ETHE up nicer than Bitcoin. So, you know, rotating into BTC, you could have rotated into Ethereum. That would have been better. Almost double right there, the alpha as it goes higher. Binance, again, another 5. Solana, I'm waiting for that 250 very eagerly right now. I will take a piece out of Solana at 250 and put it into Bitcoin. We just recently bought at 200, so we got to take that 20-25% and get out. Our Solana price is for sure double digits, though. You were talking about Doge sub 10. Cardano's sub 20 cents where we're in. That's 90 cents right now. So the run up in some of these other names, like a lot of these other crypto plays have really enjoyed similar runs to that of Bitcoin. I'm looking for Ripple. Yeah, so this last buy XRP, that's not having the explosion to all-time highs either. So maybe it could be alt season soon. Let's just see what happens now with Bitcoin, see where this one stops. The most aggressive, most realistic top, and I forget who did it. I don't know if it was Ackman or it wasn't, obviously not Cathie Wood, but I think 135 was a pretty aggressive play that I'd recently heard when we were down at like that 110, 112 area. So maybe someone doing math out there can give us a 135 call, but that could be where it goes. But IBIT just continues to go higher, man. There it is. Huge move, honestly, for IBIT. You now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 days now in a row. Nothing but upside love for crypto, and like every day, man, it's great to open up the wallet and just see what's going on. Like I recently bought at 108 and we had talked about that, and I was going to actually look it up to see when that was. It wasn't the most recent dip, it was the dip past, but good job there right now. Okay, so it looks like the market may be giving a little bit up. Remember, we still are short $1.25 in the money here on Nvidia and looking for more. I mean, here's my alerts coming up. Coinbase maybe, but that Coinbase is breaking higher. Someone's flashing now. SMR, SMCI, SMR. Let's have a quick look over there as well. Yeah, okay, so just trying to get, these are going to be VWAP looks. So getting into VWAP right now on SMR. Yeah, maybe a take higher there. That could be a good look. SMCI, we just saw also scanning out now as well. Load. All right, I don't know why 5-minute moving average, crossing the 50 period maybe right there. And that's not as good of a signal for me. I got to tighten up some of these signals for sure. Shopify also moving around right now. But let us know in the chat what else is going on. Thank you to Charlie here as well. This guy, what a day, man. You shorted AMD with me, I assume. That was going to be a great look for you. Great look for all of us today, as there goes AMD right now near the lows again, I would assume. Yeah, 206. My best out is 207. We were only short here, Obi, at 220s flat.
Man.
Yeah, that was a...
Like if you miss that initial flush, I mean, you got it on that initial flush.
Yeah, but
that was the price to get in, because look at the second, like the pop. Right? The pop back up
right here.
Later on. Yeah,
yes.
It tells you that is the place that sellers are willing to step in and step this down.
Yeah,
so that is the perfect place to get short, man. Like, yeah, I like the long into it, but when they started stepping in, I knew right away. I was like, oh boy, yeah, this is definitely a short.
Well, if it's an old boy play, I mean, why don't you say old boy?
But here's the thing. So I went on a walk with Jose, and I was just like, maybe. So sometimes we talk about
not
me
Jose
being
Batista, just to let everybody know.
No, not Batista.
Okay.
But So like reasons to buy, reasons to sell. So sometimes I like to stay price ignorant and more price action involved, right? So I'm getting involved with price action, not getting too anchored to what I think the price is. I don't care, right? But what if sometimes I'm also position ignorant, in the sense of I don't care whether I'm long or short.
Okay.
If this is a place where I think I should be selling, and I'm already long, I sell, and then maybe I'm out of my position, but it's still showing me that this is still reasons to sell. So I'm not even thinking about my position. I just continue selling and selling and selling, and then if that obviously goes against me, I get out. But like, you know, do you get what I'm saying? Kind of like really start to like flow with some of these areas where, yeah, directionality is something we're seeing more and more in this crazy market.
You used to use the word confluence all the time.
Yeah, so yeah, confluence. The confluence of factors. It's like now I'm starting to think about like, okay, well, what if if I can just simplify it even more and just say, forget about everything else, just reasons to sell, reasons to buy, and I'm just going to continue doing and participating in what the market kind of does. I don't know, it's just an idea, it's just a thought. If I had applied that on the AMD, I'm getting long on the 216s, pushing into the 220s, and then when I see sellers coming in, I'm like, oh, damn, I know I have to get out of my long, but guess what? If it's so good that you know you have to get out of your long, it's probably a great short, because it's a strong enough reason to sell, right? So it's just like, I don't know, so it's like maybe an epiphany, but like a little bit of a aha that I had on my walk today. And I
think that's why we take notes, and I think that's why we work out our strategies.
Just getting excited.
For me, we should always get excited. I mean, look, what I was going to say, I don't think that means, like you use the word position ignorant. I think you have the idea on direction, you know, and I think that's what I'm looking at. I just get a feel, where do I think the stock is going? What is a key price level for that action, right? Like I thought Tesla was going higher, so I looked for a level. Is there a breakout spot? 445. Is there a dip spot? Probably 440. We write both those down and we go for it. You know, now sometimes it will break your way and you're like, great, that's fantastic. But then once you're in the trade, then that's where I think, like, once you have the trade on board, then I like to take profit. Like, I don't like to let it run all day. Like sometimes we do. Like right now we have this Nvidia trade for a minute, but I don't think you can. Things change so fast in this market.
Yeah.
And you and I were talking about that. Like you could love the short in 1 minute, and then the very next minute we hear a story that completely changes everything, especially in this market with tariffs and with OpenAI making all these deals and whatever. So Intel, we had Intel last week getting more funding, you know, rumors of Apple, rumors of TSM, you know, all this kind of stuff. So although me and you might look at Intel and say, this looks like a short, price, everything, but then all of a sudden the flip gets turned and the switch gets turned and you have to flip up your opinion. So I like what you're talking about. I just think you
got to stay nimble is what I'm saying.
That's a good word.
That's what you're getting at. It's like you don't know what's going to happen the next minute. So being nimble is definitely
Like I think rare earth.
I respect that. I think that's a good way to tackle it. And you know what? It's good confluence that you're telling me that you're thinking kind of in that sense as well. So it's like,
well, I mean, you were long AMD. You saw the sellers. You flipped out of it. You know, and it's like that's it. Like the long doesn't mean it has to go the whole the whole day. It's just because
I'm long doesn't mean it's going to go all the way back up to the
that's why we have these fancy little logos on our things on our charts here, you know. But I think that you want to play also momentum and you want to play in the right spaces. And right now, LAC, which of course, when we talk about some of the metal names, this has been such a hot fire name. So you may not want to look short here. You may want to look long because again, you have the catalyst to the long side. USAR popped last week as well. So there goes that one. Pop goes the weasel on USAR last week on, again, more rumors, or I think it might have been a 5% stake or so. Did they wind up taking a stake in USAR, Adara? The U.S. government, if you have a sec.
I don't remember seeing anything defined.
Right, same.
But I'll look into it.
Nice, thank you.
All right, that's where we should get the thank you, Adara. I don't have that on there, but Trump has thanked Adara numerous times. So, but anyway.
Thank you very much, Adara.
There it is.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah, it was honestly, as far as I didn't see anything new in this. As far as I even remember, it was just the CEO saying that, oh yeah, we're in talks. So nothing at all.
Right.
Fine. And again, the source is very biased.
All right, please hit that button again. Andre. Thank you, Adara button.
I think I might have one.
Oh, you have it?
Maybe. This is Neil's.
Andre, can you send me, or maybe Fabian, what the code is for that? Because I want to put it on my board there, because I love that. It's thank you, Andre. We'll do it. Don't worry about it, Obi. If you can't find it, it's okay. Andre's going to get that to me ASAP. Okay, and in the like punch myself in the face moment, we have the David silly trade or whatever he calls it of the day. SP, what did I say that name is? SPRB, Spruce Power again, right there. So it's at 105 right now. Now it's at 110, so it does open up again right now, just there. So we should be $30 in the money, but we're not, and there it goes right now. I don't get those same feelings that I want to go short on the next halt, but pretty violent, man. I mean, the spread right here you can see is $5. Now it's $4. So unless you're trading in between with dark pools or you're there, see now there it goes. It's very, this is too tough. Do not trade this. Well, I don't know, not financial advice, but I think it's very, very wild. Like right into there, you could have just got long 105 and out at 115. Like $10 can make or break your day, week, month, career, really, if you misstep on this. So I think in order to see this tomorrow, and I think that's where the smart money lies, is to not do too much about this. See, now it looks like it might halt up right now at one. Nope. What you'll see when you're getting, I mean, what we see here is you'll see the bands just open up, and this should already be halting, I think, right now. It's up more than 10% now in the last couple minutes. So I don't know exactly why this isn't halting, but you're going to see it, and I'm just holding this out because you're going to see it halt. So right now, see how that starts to build up? Eventually, there'll be enough gateways on here. We don't have the halt bands on here. It's been a request of ours for a very long time. But I think this might be the halting level right now. Yeah, you see how it can't break 161? So there, okay, so that was the halt right there. So now we wait. So there it goes, halted at 161, halted at 118.61 now. I still don't love this, even though it's tapping higher, 121. Just it's not trading the same. It's not as like sort of the velocity of it isn't as intense. So I think I might have just wasted my $9, which is okay. It cost $9 to get shortable shares. All I got was 100 there. So yeah, oh, David does not have a silly trade of the day yet here today. So, all right, so it looks like NVIDIA, it's getting closer, man. I still want to use this 200 period moving average here as my out. So it's coming back in a little bit. I might just tap this out at 186. I don't know. It's not doing too much. I want to be into something, and I just don't know what right now. Tesla
blasting off. Man.
Is it?
Yeah. It's
Obi, we were supposed to take that 350.
Yeah, the 450. No, I mean it was chopping. I watched it 450s. We was just chopping it.
I didn't notice.
Look, it chopped it for a good like almost half hour. Well, 20, 30 minutes, almost 30 minutes.
I just got completely
before it actually went. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm watching it, but it's going. It's the steady grinders that are so like, it's just so like slow. It's so easy to miss. You know what I mean? It's wild. I don't know.
Yeah, but so for me, even though most trades, like I said, we all trade different share sizes, but like if that's in the morning and it's breaking 450, let's just say I'll take like, let's just say 300 shares or something. Like that break would be like at least 50 or like 50 shares. You just leave it. Like what I was saying, share size again irrelevant, but whatever you take, I think a 450 break, what would have been worth just even if you take like 20% of a normal position, something like that, and just let it go to our point. Like it breaks key levels, it has momentum,
let it run,
where we don't put on enough shares that it's going to ruin our day, but we put on enough shares that we can make, if you look down and you're in the money $3 or $4, you know, you make dinner or something like that tonight, right? And so I think that's, all right, what's up? Here's Trends Woodbridge. Yo, I was just in Woodbridge yesterday, man. I was at Wonderland yesterday. Shout out to Woodbridge. And we have a lot of players on my daughter's team that are from Vaughan. So I don't know if that's, anyways. That might not be the Woodbridge that you're talking about. Read comments. Okay, what do you want me to talk about right here? All right, good. What's up, Stressla, SoFi Long here. All the comments that you're probably talking about are up top here. So let me know if there's anything. I've been pretty sort of sidelined with everything here today. It's great to have Obi back. Not back, but Obi here. We don't have, the only position I have is Nvidia. It's still, I don't know why it doesn't show it there, but we do have Nvidia on right now, and I'm looking for more. So are the Blue Jays going to sweep the Yankees? I'm going to say no on that, but what a great weekend it was for Blue Jays. Here again, it looked like we just absolutely dummied these guys. Total score 23-9 over 2 games. Yesterday 13-7. It was like 13-2, and then you know, they got a little bit more marks up there. So I don't know. I hope it's a sweep. Rodon is good, and we do have Bieber going for us, and the Yankees are pretty awesome. And I think that they'll put up a good showing there in Yankee Stadium. So, yeah, I think the sweep could be on. Vlad loves playing against the Yankees, so and he's really stepped it up. So there was a couple weeks back there, just as we were making the playoffs, I was like, come on, Vlad, you got to be that guy. His very first at-bat, man, he hit a home run in series, game 1.
That's crazy.
Game 1, his first at-bat. And that was enough. We didn't even need any more runs. That was enough to go.
His first time back, or
first time? Yeah, first time in the playoffs.
First time ever.
No. So in the playoffs before, he was 3 for 22.
Okay.
So he had 22 at bats. He only reached base. We only got 3 hits. So when you're paying a guy $500 million, he's like one of the top players in the whole league, and our best player. They need to show up when playoffs turn, right?
You got to be switched on.
Right, and so he hadn't really been doing that. So it was like if the Jays were going to do anything, their best players have to perform naturally.
Right, of course.
So, and he did, man. So he's really stepping it up. So his very first plate appearance in the first inning, Obi,
Bringing
game 1 was a bomb. So that was really good to see for him. And trading is just like sports a lot of the time too. It's the momentum, it's the feels, right? The more confidence you have in trading, and like I said, we just come off a back-to-back pretty good months. Yeah. So right now, like my confidence level, although you saw me
locked in,
get hit last Thursday, but we came back locked in on Friday.
Exactly.
And we're locked in again here.
Hey, we talked about it. We were just like, okay, whatever. You make it back tomorrow, and guess what?
Yeah, we did.
Exactly.
So it's all good.
It is what it is.
But anyways, okay, as you said, let's go on for another trade.
Actually, it's starting to accelerate now.
Is there a level that we can punch long on Tesla then?
355? I don't know, man. The thing is, I don't like chasing. That's why intrinsically I tend to go for the reversion, because I'm like, I'm not going to chase this crazy move. But when it starts to turn, I definitely want to be involved on the other side of it. But like, that's just my style, right? That's just what I'm comfortable with doing. There are very few things that I am comfortable chasing. Something off of the open, I think, is great. If something actually has real momentum off of the open, I'm just like boom, 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 boom. I'm willing to chase because I think those are maybe prices or areas relative to the action that might not last very long, or I think they might be competitive as well. So I like that, and it's funny enough. More often than not, I find myself, and this is just a gaming thing in general. Okay. Like if you're chasing something too hard, you're more likely to get punished for chasing, right? There are certain scenarios where you definitely should be chasing because it's going to run away without you. And that could be part of the playbook. That could be part of the kind of play you're looking for. But more often than not, I'm not trying to like punch highs or punch lows unless and until it's a kind of like a structure break, which might bring us some decent EV as well. So those are probably the only ones I do like to chase. But like mid-trend, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a tough one. For example, like I'm dabbling in the short idea here on both Google and Microsoft. But look, I didn't punch long because it was running up. It did break out nicely. It did push through the 250. So I was like, all right. But then when we start to slow down and break and sellers start to step in a little bit here, I do want to get involved. Going into power hour, both the ES and the Nasdaq may be turning as well. I don't know, but I'm seeing some signs of selling. So nothing too aggressive, nothing too crazy, but I do want to start to get involved. And I could be very much wrong as well. And I don't really care about that. I'm just I care about kind of participating in things that I like to see. But yeah, that 453.50, 453.40 currently on Tesla. I don't know if I want to punch all the way up here, but that 450 grind and kind of churn was probably a good place. I did kind of pull it up earlier. So let's take a look at what happened in and around there, right? So this was the grind. This was we were watching this earlier on in the day. We were like 449.99. What a great price on Tesla. If that comes back in, maybe potential to take it for the continuation. And yeah, is Tesla going to be clean? Rarely. So it does chop, failure to follow through on the downside as it kind of pulls back into 49.50s. So this is again my fault for taking eyes off of this one. But if I see this consolidating in and around those prior highs on that 450, yeah, I can start to get involved in here. I can even start to get involved on the breakout of that consolidation at 450.70s. Kind of it's telling us that buyers are sustaining, buyers are holding in an uptrending market as well. And like tomorrow's potential news day, right? Tomorrow's potential news day. That's it. For Tesla, and if we're going to run up and have directionality going into the last hour, then yeah, maybe a consolidation at 450 on top of high of day. That's a good place to get in, and that might not even be a chase, right? Because it's giving you a defined area of where you like. Look right here, this consolidation. We see this consolidation, so it's like, all right, if I'm getting involved in here, then I'm probably wrong below 449.60s because it's consolidating. These are the buyers I want to get involved with. These short-term buyers. I'm not getting in this for a swing, right? I'm not trying to get in this and hold it overnight. I'm just like, okay, well, this is a short-term move that I think is building up nicely, and the probabilities are definitely stacking in my favor. So a bit of a miss on my part not getting involved, but this is an example of something that could be considered chasing, but I think this is responsible chasing because the chart is kind of telling you where you might be wrong. And even if you don't like that consolidation low, guess what? You just draw a simple trend line, draw some points, and you can be like, well, the uptrend has not broken until we pass down through here. So that around this time would have been like what, 449. So you're risking about $1 down to 449s, getting in and around 450s for a potential push up, and it's giving you about $3 past that 450. Here comes the market drop coming in. Let's see how the shorts are doing right now. Softy's still kind of holding this. What is that? 530. Yeah, Softy's still kind of holding that 530 as of right now. So maybe poised for a little bit longer. I did like the goggles as well, so I took a look at that one. 251, and coming back into 250. Let's see what it does with that 250. If this market takes a little bit of a breather going into the end of the day, look at this. Off of in the pre-market session, this is where supply was, right? In and around here, this was what? Let's see what time that was. Okay, that's 9:15 in the morning. This is 8:15 in the morning. So both those times, supply coming in pretty aggressively, and we're testing in and around those areas. We wicked some of those highs here, both on the Nasdaq and the ES. So the question becomes, are we going to see some more supply where we saw it already kind of coming in the pre-market session? The market told us that there were sellers there. Now I'm just trying to observe if that's going to come into fruition by participating in market leaders like a Google, like a SoFi. I liked Amazon as well. I got a little chopped up on it a little bit earlier during the midday session. Let's take a look at that one. That one continued. I got out of it at a respectable place. Let's go to Amazon and take a look at this. So this is what I did during the midday session. So I was watching this. Sellers started to come in here. I'll blow this up a little bit. So sellers started to come in off of this test, 220 halves or whatever. So this is when I went for a walk. So I'm like, all right, cool. I like this break of 10. I'm gonna get short, throw in my stop, and then just go for a walk. And sure, it kind of came down into here, but I was looking for maybe a proper reversion, maybe down into VWAP because of the break of trend and seller dominance in the morning. That didn't really happen. Come in, get stopped out. I like this as well, maybe a little bit of a lick grab of that. So I did get in, but a little bit smaller than earlier, and then a nice push up gets me out there on Amazon. So I tried a couple of times, didn't work, and more than willing to kind of be wrong on that one. Let's take a look back at what was I looking at? SoFi. Yeah, SoFi's coming in now. Let's see if we can push a little bit lower. Still kind of in and around where I got in. I'm looking for that follow through to come in, and we only have about 40 minutes left in the trading day. So am I expecting anything crazy? Am I expecting a full-on reversion to VWAP? Absolutely not. If we get that, then maybe that's a cherry on top. But I'm just trying to get with a little bit of selling going into the end of the day after some strong bidding from the morning session, right? We had some strong selling, and then we've only been bidding pretty aggressively for a majority of the day on a lot of these megs. So that's what I'm looking at. Nothing crazy, man.
All right.
I'm amped. Yeah, I didn't even.
Thanks for summarizing in very few words there, Obi.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I get a little excited.
Oh man,
and then I might the vernacular definitely starts to expand.
Yeah, if I knew what that meant, that'd be
words. Just words.
No problem there. Yeah, no, it's all good. I mean, that's just what we want. We want to be able to explain what we're doing, and you definitely did that. So it looks like the market's coming back. I mean, that's going to be a good little pull here to the downside, and I think that short underneath the 50-period moving average, that's going to definitely play. So like giving us a little bit of a level there into the close, looks like that's going to continue to work itself out. I wanted to have a quick look at Oracle as well, because Oracle, very similar opinion here on Oracle and AMD, and it's just like, all of these names get bumped up because of this OpenAI, and it's just like, I'm just a little nervous, like that these funds might, I mean, they're still losing money, OpenAI. You know, they're not a public company. They can't just raise funds by offering shares or anything like that. But they're raising funds in the private market, and I think they just did a round, right, Adara, a fundraising round, OpenAI, and I don't know, they always do them, but I think, what was the latest valuation? I mean, I thought it went out at like, I don't know what it was, $400 or $500 billion or something like that. So
apparently, as of 4 hours ago, I'm seeing $500 billion valuation milestone.
Hold on, I gotta see if this works.
Thank you very much, Adara.
That just say thank you, Adara? Okay, I didn't hear it. All right, we've got it. Yeah, so there it is, man. Sometimes I can remember half decently there. So 400 to 500 billion, and there it goes. So, and this is all private money. So the way to get involved in that is DXY. Yes, DXYZ. Okay.
Oh. I thought you were looking at the Dixie. I was like, oh, yeah, I haven't looked at the Dixie.
Yeah, the US dollar probably going opposite of what OpenAI is doing. But yeah, this is Dynasty or whatever I think it's called. And this has involved in it there the National Guard right now, I just heard in my ears, in transit to Illinois.
Sorry, say again?
All right,
National
so
Guard.
I don't know if you're following. Like, Trump has deployed the National Guard to all these like basic war zones that he calls them in the United States. So he did one in Washington.
Interesting.
Now into Chicago there. So anywhere
I haven't
where
really been following that, no.
Yeah, it's been.
We had security stocks. Remember security stocks during COVID?
tasers.
The camera, the
I think it
chest
was the
cam,
same. I think it's
and then
TASR.
Yeah. Let's take
Taser?
a look at. I mean, if that's the case, then maybe some of those stocks are kind of moving around. I mean, yeah, maybe I should be keeping up with relevant news, man. I don't know, but what are some of those stocks.
You should be keeping up with relevant news.
I mean, I keep up with my relevant news every day.
I'm not. You're the one that just said maybe I should. I was telling you, yeah. I mean, there is things.
Here's the thing. I love you. Yeah, exactly. Grant Ratcliffe saying, "Oh, he hasn't watched news programming in years." Yeah, man. This is just like, you know what? Tinfoil hat, tinfoil suit. There are biases that are being sold to you left, right, and center, and I just want to keep my head and my thoughts clean of all of that. And at the end of the day, like that's part of the kind of business I'm trying to build, right? I don't want to have a strong bias that, like, you know, some reporter on some whatever channel kind of gave their opinions on. You know what I mean? I want to do my own research, and if I'm wrong, I'm more than willing to be wrong, right? I don't care. At the end of the day, what's going to help me and my business perform better? If I think that not watching some of these crazy, bias-driven news outlets, if that's the way to do it, then yeah, that's what I'm going to do, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, price action is king. I don't even like.
You don't need to justify that.
Yeah, exactly. Price action is king. The price action will tell me everything that I need.
What would be would you know, like, if I said, like, if there was a news source that more leans left, would you know what that would be?
I know people lean right and left, but it's just like what.
You don't know, like, I was just saying, like, if you were watching Fox Business, you wouldn't really know that it would be right or versus left.
No, not really.
Right,
I don't know.
So you're really out of.
I know they lean hard. I'm familiar with how they lean, how they lean.
Okay. No.
But, you know,
what I'm asking that is because I think that's important. What you're getting at there is you don't necessarily want to be too influenced by other people's opinions, and I think that's perfectly fine. So, anyways, let's move off of that. Neil and I talk about politics all the time, so I just think that there is obviously some need for it, but at the same time, it has nothing to do with price.
On the other note, news, breaking news trades, that's a whole different thing.
Oh, that has nothing to do with
That's a whole different thing. Breaking news trades, for example, the AMD this morning. Like that kind of news, absolutely. Is it affecting price? Is it affecting the stock? Breaking news trades are very much what I like as well. So it's just like.
But I sometimes will use politics to shape the directional bias. So for example, if I know that Trump is going hard at healthcare, like we saw last week.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like if again, the presidential bid, the presidential seal is something that I've playbooked since Trump. Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, if Trump supports something, then of course you're gonna have it's I don't care what it is necessarily. If it's gonna bring in volume, if people are gonna position themselves in the stock, if the float is going to be consumed on that idea, then that is what makes I
don't care about the info story, but when we get it breaking, I think see the price action.
Lance Breitstein, a great trader of our time, I think he posted recently that there are and I really vibe with this. There are three things that move price, not fundamentals. Fundamentals don't mean anything to these three things: positioning, liquidity, and there was one more.
Fundamentals?
Positioning, liquidity, he's saying not fundamentals. Damn, I'm forgetting.
It's okay, but
I'm blanking. I'll remember. So people are like, oh, why is this moving around, right? But people believe in fundamentals. That's why they position, right? So how are other people positioning, right? Where does liquidity sit? Things like that. I'm missing the last one. I'm kind of blanking. Okay. I'll look it up.
I never heard of that trader before, so it doesn't really matter.
He's relatively fresh. He's going to be in the new Market Wizards book next year.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Okay. No, I mean, that's great. I mean, I want to have those conversations because we need to be able to, figure out what lane they're in and whatnot. I think that's somewhat important. Okay, so wow. All right, we just gapped. Wow. I wish I could pause this. We were just at, look at that, 131, 138. For some reason, Spruce Power there was just at one. I was just gonna say, I'm debating going long there.
Sentiment, liquidity, and positioning.
Which one do you think of those are the most powerful? Which?
Here, look, he's like, this is what he says. The more so his post is basically the longer that he's been trading, the more he's come to realize that the fundamentals don't drive market prices.
Okay.
It's a confluence of three things: sentiment, positioning, and liquidity. So I really have been kind of thinking about that a little bit more, and I mean, you know what? Makes a lot of sense. And that's me. I don't really look at fundamentals that much, and they don't really mean that much to me.
Is this guy a swing trader, day trader, options? Say, is he an investor?
A little bit of everything.
Okay.
Yeah. But he used to be a prop trader.
So no help there.
No, he used to be a prop trader.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just think prop trading is so much different than.
Yeah, it is very different.
Because me and you could be like, I've already made like 200 something trades, so it's like things are different all the time. All right, what's up, Adara?
What's up here is certainly not Kenvue. KVUE, we know this one has been trading near all-time lows for the last little bit after we had to get a couple weeks ago this announcement from U.S. President Donald Trump that pregnant women should not take Tylenol, which is made by Kenvue, because of concerns with regards to autism if pregnant women take it. So now I'm seeing a report that Robert F. Kennedy, who leads the Health and Human Services Department, we know he's pushing for a drug for autism. Now I'm seeing that apparently his push for this autism drug is now gaining support from pharmaceutical companies. So not directly related to KVUE, but certainly tangentially related. This stock has been pushing lower over the last, looks like, hour or so. Relative volume, and this stock is doing well over 1 million shares, decent volume on the day here for KVUE. Again, this one on watch as we get ongoing, I guess, back and forth with regards to whether or not this drug should be taken by pregnant women with regards to the risk of autism. Back to you.
Not autistic. What is it when you, like, if something changes, like Ramin was just moving around the...
ADHD?
ADHD.
That's what you're looking at. Yeah.
That is a form of autism, isn't it? I just said to Ramin, if I lose on my next trade because she just altered my monitor, then she got some explaining to do right over there. Man, I have a headache. You got any aspirin or anything, or any Tylenol?
Dude, what about right here?
I was just joking. We have a little bit of both here. We have some. These are the advert. Look what I bring my.
You got to be careful about these. Apparently, I heard about that news. That was kind of funny.
I mean, I was trying to get to that because that's what Adara just talked about. Obviously, clearly you weren't paying attention. Right. So good job, Obi. But no, that's why these are from Costco. So what I do is I dump in, like, we buy like the 500 pack, and then just my wife gives me a Tupperware, and then I don't know. Sometimes I get like my knee will be sore. You know what I just wound up putting on my knee? Actually, the tape. You ever seen athletes? They have like
like the flex tape, like to reduce the stress.
Amazing.
Yeah, those are great, man. Those are great.
Yeah, because my daughter, she was running track, and she started when she's running or whatever, she was feeling something in her arm a little bit, but nothing's wrong. I mean, she plays hockey. Probably got body checked into the boards on her shoulder, but my wife went got some of that tape there and put it on her arm or whatever, and she said, like. She ran, by the way, she qualified on Thursday, so I'm really proud of her. So now she's going to the Western regional finals or whatever, and then if she could qualify, but she's not a runner, so if she could qualify for that, then she'd go on to the cities, but I don't. I wish her the best, but that's, when you get to, like, even when you're grade 6, 7, 8, 9, like, athletes and these kids these days really start to specialize. So, like, even at that age, like, there's people that in her class and all that are part of running clubs and all that kind of stuff, even at 10 and 11 years old. So you really have to. But anyways, I put some of that tape on my knee right now to support it because I had an HTO, and it was really, it's much nicer. And even after swimming, like, my knee doesn't feel as much pain.
So is it like water? You can swim with it, or you have to take it off?
I asked the wife, I was like, can I swim with it? She says, yeah, you can probably last 3 or 4 days through showers.
Okay.
It's, again, the more the oils, like the soap, will
yeah.
detach the adhesive.
Right, that makes sense.
Okay, so here's Kenvue. Yeah, nice move to the downside. I was actually going to call this up, and this kind of fits on what we were talking about politically there, as, some just downside push there. And if you went short, more of a swing trade idea when Trump and when RFK Jr. Was talking about, the possibility of this, because again, still don't think there's like too many studies out there. I know Adair just dropped that story, but there it is to the downside right now, Kenvue and Tylenol, and the effect that acetaminophen has on pregnant ladies that use it during pregnancies. Okay, so I don't know if how much truth there is to that. Boeing, I think Boeing was a good trade, and I really like this stock. I think anytime, and I say it kind of just like tongue-in-cheek, but realistically, like, if you can get a stock that has a monopoly and has some cause for, what is the reason to go upside. I think a China deal or anything like that was going to involve Boeing. We've seen that already with Saudi Arabia and whatnot. Qatar came in, bought some more planes. We just had Turkey the other day go in there and buy some more planes. There's a few other countries that went in there and helped out Boeing, and we just had a dip down pretty aggressively there on Boeing from 219. Really good VWAP fade out. I was sort of waiting for this 216 that we had seen early to see if we got some love back in there, but it looks like we got a straight bounce upside right there for Boeing. So a good name there, up that 1.04%. I was talking about Oracle earlier, looking for some trade ideas as well, and I kind of like this one, just not doing anything. I thought Oracle off those lows, if we got into 291, that could have been a trade, but again, it doesn't look like we're getting into there. So for me, it's like a little bit of a puff pass on that one right now. On Oracle, I wanted to look at Uber as well. Uber at 100, pretty interesting name. We had bounced around there a little bit today. Gave us that breakout trade right there. And the reason why I wanted to bring this to attention was we are coming back into $100. So I do think that there is some opportunities here to get some trades off on Uber, right? And so if we can come back in right now you're taking it, watch out for this, $900 on Uber, as that's looking like a very, very good hold with some VWAP support as well. So if Uber can come in into $100, I really like that trade. And I don't know, again, Adara, like, is this the move here on Uber based on what we might see tomorrow? Maybe we get a robo-taxi, maybe we don't. Maybe there is a deal with an Uber and a Tesla or something like that that opens up the floodgates, because Uber had been making a way down, was looking to maybe buy some more of Uber if we got into 94, into the 50-period moving average. But again, nothing kicking right now for Uber, up a little bit, 3-4% or so for UBER. So Lyft has also had a good run lately. And by the way, I just, before we go back to Adara, I know she does have breaking news, but I just want to talk about Spruce Point really quickly here. It's not Spruce Point, is it? SPRB, what was it called? Spruce Power, I think, SPRB. Hold on, let me get this right. Spruce Biosciences, duh, it's a bioscience name. We talked about that with Shkreli. It's almost at highs again. So this is where we were like, oh man, we wanted to short that 135, and it went all the way down to 1 right there. So $135 in the money. Now it's all the way back up. And now, guys, it's tapping 164. Like, what in whatever's name is up with this stock? Spruce Bioscience continues to go upside. All right, Adara's got another story for us.
I do, and Sharif mentioned this one a little bit during the recap, or sorry, not the recap, the midday, or at least part of it, with regards to Costco and offering Novo Nordisk. Well, now we have Sam's Club members. Again, Sam's Club is Walmart. Apparently, they now are getting free same-day delivery of refrigerated medications, including GLP-1s. Walmart saying that GLP-1s are available at significant discounts, and Plus members can access over 600 medications for $10 or less. So keep an eye on NVO, Walmart, COST, and HIMS. With that in mind, here's HIMS, Hims and Hers Health, actually getting a little bit of a pop around when we got this story again. Sam's Club's members at Walmart now getting free same-day delivery of refrigerated medications, which include GLP-1s. Walmart also announcing access to over 600 medications for their Plus members for $10 or less. Back to you.
Yeah, okay, there was, I think it was Walmart, must have been last week. There was some stories there about the medication and all of that. So I think that's obviously pretty cool to have more access to all of that. And I think at the end of the day, it just helps out stocks like an Eli Lilly here. As more and more medicine becomes more widely available, this is great, right? The GLP-1s and everything like that. Everyone always says, like, look, I try to go to, I am going to the gym. I think I'm down about like 10 to 12 pounds since I started going. So that's nice, pretty good. But it's more about, for me, it's more about like the feeling of getting out in the middle of the day, right? And like not spending like as much time in front of the monitors, and sort of just getting a little bit of a better, just sort of like clear your mind a little bit in the middle of the day. I think that's really been helping me a little bit. But to me, it's just not necessarily about the weight loss for these drugs. It is about the weight loss, but it's also helping people that maybe can't get to the gym as often, or are already in like a diabetic state, that maybe just aren't as mobile or whatever, to be able to get out there. Also helping out with heart health and just reducing some of that pressure, that it's not just like, hey, let's just, because we do see, like I see there was like a Serena Williams or Venus Williams, like sort of promoting it, and then she stopped being an athlete and then went on the GLP-1s and lost 30 or 40 pounds or whatever for that. And I think that's kind of important too, that they talk about that, but it's also big, apparently helps out a lot of other issues, addiction issues, things like that for the GLP-1. So I do think that more medicine accessible, better. And you know, if you want to pay, it's $500 a month. You know, and if
one
that's
of the revolutionary drugs of our time, man.
I think it will go down as one of the most effective or directional changing medicines. Like we have penicillin, I think, is always going to be obviously number one. You know, how that helped out back in the day with infections and everything, right? But I think in our times now, Gilead had a big one that was good for HIV and whatnot. I think that helped a lot. And then obviously this GLP seems to be another one. But I really like Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly is another one of those names that just continues to climb higher and higher here into 850 and 860. This is another name that we were lucky enough, Obi.
Yes.
No lie, we bought some at 750 when we got out of Google, and it just went all the way to the downside. And I was like, what exactly have I been doing? And then all of a sudden we were able to pick a little bit more up here on earnings, and we waited to the 3-day rule. So we got something, I think, 639 or 640. So now that's all the way back up and making me feel a little bit better. What is your plan of action? Because right now I only have this Nvidia, and my stop is now going to change a little bit. It was at 186.20 where this 200 period moving average is. Now 186. So I'm actually going to go in there, cancel my current script order, so it's a stop order, and now I just put this in 186.06. I was going to do 05 and made a keystroke, but 06 is fine. Push offer, enter right there, and now when we blast up and we wind up taking down this 200 period, I'm just going to stop out of that trade, right? And so I think we did something similar to that on AMD earlier, and now I kind of regret it. It's down to 205, but like as soon as we broke some of these 200 periods and the 50 period is where we wind up stopping out. So AMD, I think, you know what? How much time is left? 3? Nah. I was gonna say, what about this bottom break? We just broke it and held, basically. That's 205. What about a short on AMD 205? That could be a trade that I can get behind here pretty quickly. What's up, Adara?
Yeah, keep an eye here in Open Door. As usual, there's no clear catalyst for OPEN and this move to the upside today, but I did just check social media. There is a ton of attention for this on social media. We're talking multiple tags a minute. And I'm seeing apparently someone purchased a call worth $396,000 at $9.50 to expire on November 7th, so in about a month from now. Either way, what I'm trying to say is bullish options action being touted here for OPEN on social media. Keep an eye on Open Door. Once again, pushing higher. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, second leg now on that one there. What do we got here? Okay, so copy paste. What is that? VKTX new to gap dynamics and how to read chart in a squeeze gap play. Had to drop on the last readout, but looking strong on buyout rumors and stronger than interpreted results. Okay, interesting. Is that somebody in the? Okay,
so basically he wants to ask about VXTX.
Or
VKTX.
Yeah.
So
Viking Therapeutics.
Obi will get on that. Yeah, that was a little bit. Yeah, we have a new feature there. If you put a question in the chat.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, we can easily just call up any question in the chat and put it right on the board there for everybody. So that's another one of those. Fabian classics.
This is a biotech, right? I don't know, man. Yes. Biotechs are a little. I don't really. Yes. Let's just see what it's doing, I guess. Because I'm not familiar with the kind of trials and.
We're trying to look at that gap down, I guess.
The gap down, yeah. I guess we're curling up, consolidation breakout. The thing with biotechs, man, I want to know a little bit more about what kind of stuff they're doing. But yeah, no, the price action is great. We got a nice little quadunk here. I don't know what happened on August 19th here.
I started feeling the vibrations.
Yeah. My phone started ringing because it is 42 now, and it's about 8 minutes left until some of these imbalances come in. I'm seeing the tape start to speed up already. Some bids coming in on both Alphabet and Microsoft, so I'm probably going to be wrong on both of those, but that's fine. VKTX, yeah, nice little curl up breakout happened on Friday. Okay, so this is good. I like this. So it's like, okay, so Friday, you got that strength, you got the breakout that kind of pushed this high, 28.23s, right? And then we're getting that continuation today off of the open. So if you already had eyes on this because of the breakout, or maybe you're taking the swing because you're like consolidation breakout, just looking for that momentum. And today that momentum is definitely coming in. So off of pre-market, we see that gap up consolidation above prior day's prices. I like that as well. And then look at that 4 a.m. high, or whatever pre-market consolidation high, whatever the highest prices were in the pre-market, we kind of accelerated and pushed aggressively through that. And I think we got some breaking news with Adara.
AppLovin here, plummeting today's lows, and I am not exaggerating. In this one candle, we've dropped about $50 in this one candle, guys, for APP. Seeing reports that the company is being probed by the SEC over data collection practices. Now, for what it is worth, AppLovin is no stranger to scandal. This one had 3 short reports about them in over a 2-day period back in February, so this is not necessarily news. But either way, APP now below $600 again. Reports that this one is being probed by the SEC over data collection practices. If I get more details, I will let you know. Big drop for APP. Back to you.
So very, very timely on this one. How about gap loving right now? As
nice, I like that.
It is. I'll be back tomorrow, everybody. Yeah, so there it is, man. 670 down in there to 610. Not going to be something for my style right now. If I got that story a little bit earlier, we could have maybe hit it like through VWAP, which you can't really do because that's crazy. As the algos, and you want to talk about OpenAI, sort of had a discussion about algos and whatnot before. Like, this is where the algos shine. I mean, to be able to read that news quickly and then get it, any kind of a probe, unless it's by an alien or something, or even that might not be comfortable. But you got to be careful right here, because there's the move down. And let's not forget about it. This is one of the darlings of the year, right? I mean, I think AppLovin might be one of the best, because now it's in the S&P 500. Yeah. Might be one of the best performing S&P 500 stocks of the year, pre this move, and even with this move included.
Correct. Before this move, it was at like one of the 7 best performers.
Hold on, I have a button for that.
Thank you very much, Dara.
Okay, so yeah, there it goes right into the downside right there. So yeah, I do remember that, and you know, it's just giving it back now, Obi, into September 17th.
What a reversion, man.
Yeah, a little bit of a play there.
You had to be there a few days ago, but this is the follow.
But like it was just 602, and now it's 608 again, 609. So this continues to go just a little bit ham, as the kids say. And I have an update too. My wife's just like, oh my God, I don't know where my kids, don't know where the kids are. Oh, we know where the kids are. Okay, but she's like, they're not home from school yet. And anyways, both of them are doing cooking club tonight.
Nice.
I like that right there, because right now all they cook is
there it is.
Scrambled eggs.
Nice.
That is my 13-year-old's number one dish.
Nice.
Grilled cheese and scrambled eggs. I dropped him off at my mom and dad's place a couple weekends ago while the wife and I went. Was it the Oasis concert? I don't remember what it was, but no, it wasn't that. Oh, we went away to Sudbury for hockey. He didn't want to come, so he spent time with his grandparents. Great. And anyways, my mom made sure to tell me that they had grilled cheese, and it was superb. So now he's looking to get some more experience. I'm going to ask him.
So what's the best thing that you can cook, or what's like your like forte?
I mean, I don't mean to sound, you know, like I can cook a lot of foods. Yeah. Yeah, and
so what's your best? What's your best thing that
I
you
like
cook?
cooking? So honestly, this is not even much cooking for this, but I just love a good steak.
Yeah.
Like I can, like, my wife likes it basically like medium rare, but more to the rare side. Okay. So I get real nervous because she always threatens to slap me with the steak if I cook it too much. And so but I haven't gotten like that slap comment in a couple times now. So I think that's been really, really good. I love gnocchi, which is the potato. Yeah. And my nonna passed away, but she had really taught us as kids how to use like our thumbs to roll it and things like that. So I really think that I do pretty good at that. But yeah, all of that, man, all of that. But I just really enjoy all of that. And I think that's something cool to have with your kids. You know, because instead of them sitting down and watching videos or all that kind of stuff, it's like, yo, get in the kitchen, let's make dinner tonight. So, you know what I make a mean one of? You'll like this too, burgers.
Yes.
Just go in there,
Yes.
get the chuck.
Let's go.
Meanwhile, by the way, what is not a nothing burger is AppLovin.
Yeah. That could
Right
be
now.
something on the
I'm going to ask you the same question. What dish you make really well as well? Okay, I know you have the biryani.
Yeah.
From your town.
Yeah. That's so the biryani. I think my dad is the one who makes the best. Because I think growing up, he trained under like a chef at a restaurant in India. So he get it from there. And then I think he basically, I'm pretty sure he taught my mom how to make it as well. Now she's taken that recipe and just made it even better. So you know what?
But you got to get involved in that.
Yeah, exactly. So I've made it a couple.
Okay.
So I learned how to make it for the first time. I think a couple years ago. Since then, I've made it maybe like once again. So I got to put in those reps. I got to start kind of that transfer of knowledge needs to start happening because. My parents don't like to eat out because they don't like to eat out Indian food. Because they're just like, why would we do that? It makes no sense. Because more often than not, it's much better at home. It's like 10 times better at home. But it is what it is. Here's for me, the best thing I can probably make is that. What do I really like making? I would honestly be a steak again, man. Steak is a thing.
Okay.
Steak is very much a thing. So I like that.
So the news is now out about AppLovin. I'm just hearing it obviously in my ear as well as, it's coming to the downside right here. So I'm just going to tweet it out so everyone can see it now. AppLovin has been probed by the SEC over data collection processes. So see you later. Alligator. There goes AppLovin. And I actually just wanted to also tweet out a chart of that as well, just because wow, 570 now. And I gotta say.
Thank you very much, Dara.
Now that I have that key, it's gonna be, people may get tired of it. No, it's just like this was 610, dude. We were looking at this 610, 613, 614, 615. And I was thinking to myself, remember I was like, if we could have shorted it there, but we could have just shorted that. Oh crap, the imbalances are coming in just 15 seconds. I need another button. Thank you, Andre. He just messaged us there in our ear and was like, yo guys, focus here. We have imbalances coming in.
Dude.
I never thought that the guy wearing that board there would be like, yo, smarten up right now. Okay, so here come the imbalances right now. 3, 2, and 1, and they are now out. So we can have a quick little look to see what's going on. There's RKT again with a bid. So that's not really doing too much. 407 million buy side. Sell side on the Nasdaq. There goes your Good. Are you still, no, you're still in Google.
Google didn't stop me out. SoFi did stop me out.
So Google does have a sell on it as well.
Okay, that's good.
But there we go. Nice little downside play now.
I think we got another super chat.
Oh, we did?
Here.
Okay, my bad.
We got another super chat from Charlie. Took the app short, 6.8 now. So that's a little bit more than the 4 you mentioned earlier. You guys are the best. Seems like you are the best, man. Good job taking on that trade, and a little bit of continuation on that drop down, and we did continue. I think when we were looking at it, it was trading around like 600s ish on that initial push. This is a 3-minute, on that initial down, we got that 600. Now we're trading all the way at 550s, 545. So oh boy, indeed on that one. So congratulations, great trade, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say what. It doesn't matter, you don't have to answer. Obviously, this is just but I was like, what gave the confidence to do that? Because I really wish that I would have hit that. But the thing is that now, as Adair had mentioned, that there's been some short seller reports and there's been different things happening on this name. So I guess what happens to this is that, we looked at it when Palantir went to the downside, right? And you have a name like AppLovin right here that is also starting to head downside right now. And then at some point, valuation, we talk about this. Actually, it's not too bad. PE just 50, forward PE 93. Well, that's getting much more, less aggressive, I guess, now, much more reasonable as this falls back in there. So I would just say let sleeping dogs lie a little bit here. This is not sleeping anymore, but you got to let this story try to figure it out. So right now, not sure where AppLovin's eventually going to go, but nice little downside play there into the close. I know you were short Microsoft, and it's not about that.
Yeah,
trade.
it kind of wicked. It literally wicked 351 and 531, and then comes right back in. But again, I was looking for more of a sell, right? We did get that pull down into 528 halves earlier, and we just caught a bid back in. And I even said it in and around here. I was like, I'm probably going to get stopped out, and yeah, classic, getting stopped out almost at the wick highs there. But like I said before, a little insignificant in terms of like nothing too crazy in terms of a sizing, because like I said, at the end of the day, not that much time left. Am I really going to expect it to flush all the way down? I'm willing to take a stab at it, but nothing even near. I would say like an A or a B. But yeah, just kind of participating in some stuff here. It seems like Google's not going to work either, with the bid coming in pretty decently here. Just holding that 250, man. That 250 hold pretty decent on that pullback. So we did get that pullback. So that's information, right? That could be information for tomorrow. This end of day consolidation, what it's doing. That 250 hold being nice, maybe we catch a continuation off of that if the market is also strong tomorrow, right? So that's one I'm going to be definitely watching out for on Softy and goggles. And AppLovin seems like yeah, not getting too much love in here as day low. Well, maybe 580, so a bit of a reversion happening here. So maybe catching a little bit of a bid going into the close. I don't really see it here on AppLovin's and Nasdaq, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I don't really see anything here necessarily strong on these imbalances. Where it was at, that's AL. But yeah, so nothing too crazy in terms of imbalances on AppLovin. So maybe a reversion. Yeah, the reversion is definitely working as of right now. Let's go down a shorter time frame. Yeah, okay, so when the bid stepped in, so maybe you get stopped out, but when the bid does step in, that comes in pretty nicely here, about $30 higher from the 60s all the way to 590. So a nice little pushback into 600 going into the close on AppLovin. I'll definitely be watching it tomorrow as well, Sean.
Before I get to this ad, I just want to remind everybody that we are going to have Michael Noss and Adara on the recap show. So stay tuned for all that. Get your questions ready. It should be a big one. But trade the pool, man. We just saw Bill Ackman right there. Can you beat his live trading competition? That's here right now on October 8th to the 10th. So we're getting close. Every day Ackman makes his move. Your mission, outperform him, beat his return, prove you've got what it takes. The grand finale will be live here on October the 13th at Trader TV Live in studio. We'll have Mitch here. We'll talk all about this contest. We'll talk about the winners, losers. Over 600,000 available in prizes up for grabs. 25K, 50K, and even 100K evaluation accounts. Please surprise giveaway, or plus surprise giveaways during our live show. So now we're a week away from that. It should be really fun to have him on board. Don't catch.
Wow.
Don't just watch, compete, man. Beat Ackman.
Look at that.
Big.
That's the softy drop I was
There we go. See, and that's, remember we sort of said about timing of the market? And that's what it is, right? And sometimes you get those sell imbalances heading into the close. And today we did get something on the imbalance locator, Obi. And yeah, man.
Oh, boy.
I'm glad that Neil's not really like that, but I'm glad that you are, because you get to feel.
I mean, I held through it. I was like, if this stops me out, it's going to stop me out. But if it works, I like it, and it's going to do something like that on the pairing. That's fine, dude. Whatever.
No, it's fine. It's just it sucks because when you have
sucks.
some risk on and you want to make a little bit of money. It's always nice.
It wasn't, but it's insignificant. I'm just like, maybe here, if I'm still in it, maybe I'm looking to add some more on the break of this low, right? I don't want to chase down here necessarily.
How do I know that I want to have AMD all day?
I don't know. Maybe.
This is part of the trade, man. Like we were short at 120, dude.
Big.
It's just like this happens to me all the time. It's not. That's why I was trying to follow this 50-period moving average, but when it broke higher, I got it. I don't know if it's going to go upside right there. I mean, it's the same exact trade happened to me on Tesla, where we were long. We had the long bias. I mean, it's written right. All these trades are. It's not like these are fluke trades. I mean, we write these down, but once it breaks the level, we get out, and we should have just. That goes with that bias, man. What you're talking about, Neil. Hopefully we'll be back tomorrow. We'll see if that's coming through. If not, we'll have Obi here tomorrow. AppLovin does get a nice little bounce off 550 there. So again, nice move back up to the high side, and that's what I fear with when you're trading these things down 14% on not a possible, but on an SEC probe over data collection practices. So we know that Google and stuff like that, as far as data and apps, and AppLovin allows these apps to put advertisements on them. So they work with app builders and things like that to throw in ads. That's my understanding of what they do or what their business is all about. So yeah, you can clearly see though today, a little bit of a downside move there in that. So I want to see if that affected Google at all. No, doesn't seem that there's anything going on there. Oh, maybe the Trade Desk is another one that deals with ads and things like that. They've been beat up a lot lately anyways, but let's see the Trade Desk. Okay, so there it is, like that move from 90 down to 50. I shouldn't say lately, it's actually done nicely lately, but yeah, watch out here for the Trade Desk. Again, I don't know if that was earnings or that was a probe by them itself, but that's making moves downside now as well. But a good day overall. We might as well just get out of this. We were holding this until we broke. So again, that's like part of the strategy again, right? We shorted the high of the day. We got out at the 200. We got out more at VWAP, like basically 4 VWAP outs, and now we're back into the lows. So let's just put a bid right here, close it out. We'll bid 45s there. Ooh, of course there's size right there. What is that on Edge X? We'll see if that gets taken out. You see how it's like bouncing a little bit off that size? There it goes. See you later. I was on Nasdaq, so you don't want to line up there. So if you lined up, there's 70,000 shares has to print before you. If you're on any other gateway, you get it real fast. So I was just on Nasdaq there at 45, and we got it when it came back in. Don't join lineups, guys. There we go. Well, now it gets out. Just get on something else. But there it is, man. That's the big trade for me this afternoon. 187 down to 185.40, Obi. $1.50 to end the day on that trade.
It's a great level to level, man. Absolutely. The sniper entries too, dude.
Thanks,
absolutely beautiful, man.
One entry.
Yeah, exactly. And on the right side of the move, that 187 area that you've been talking about, man. It's good stuff there. Google. It's trading sideways. Again, less than or just a minute left on the day today, so I'm probably going to get hit out of this one. Another loser, it's fine. Tomorrow's another day, man. Tomorrow's another day. I'm going to be continuing to look for opportunities. And this market is very, very fruitful, right? So it's just like, all right, miss one, next 15, another one's coming, man. That's just like, you remember that where that's from? It's from some song, I forget which it was.
Say it again.
It's like miss one, next 15, one coming.
Oh, no.
No, okay. I forget what song it's from, but whatever. That's the kind of that's the kind of concept. It's just like, all right, cool, miss a trade. This kind of market, you can't be upset for too long because end of day, there's so much opportunity, so much stuff out there, and. There you go. I'm going to punch out of that one.
Let's get out.
Oh, boy.
Well, now we only have 20 seconds left, so thank you, everybody, for watching, man. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thank you, Charlie, so much in the chat, man. You've been really giving us a lot of love lately, so we want to thank you for that. And if anybody else, instead of the super chats, 10 seconds left. See? That is so late, by the way, that countdown. All right, this countdown is brought to you by VinFast, ticker VFS. And there it is, triggered out now. The market is now closed. So there we go. We'll get the timing of that a little bit better. But when you see that up, you only have a matter of seconds left. So thank you, everybody, for that. But I was going to say, get over here, man. Hit the like button if you can on this. And we'll get a little bit more 500 likes. We really appreciate that. 5,400 watching. Okay, Obi, thanks again for today. We'll be in touch for tomorrow.
Yes.
I'll see you around the office anyways.
Yes.
But thank you for a big day today, and great hosting today. And
I had a blast, man. I had a blast.
Yeah,
I got a little energetic.
I like that. Yeah, you got a lot of talks going on there. Great talk there in the afternoon about trading strategies and styles and all that. I mean, that's what we want to do here every single day.
We get excited about trading, man.
Well, there's lots to talk about every day because there's so many different styles, there's so many different stories, and then we got a great chat, like our group and our team here that watch us every single day. Thank you again to Charlie there for all the super chats and for everybody else that super chat and all the members that we have as well. You can join up for less than a cup of coffee a day. You can get the Sharif's morning note as well. So I definitely would recommend doing that. All right, there's a few earnings plays coming this week as well, but not a bunch.
Crazy.
All right, it's Adara. She's doing it tonight.
Oh boy.
On the after show. So if you're ready, Adara.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do this. Let's go over, man. It's her own show now. It's the market recap. It's with Adara. Ciao.
Bye.
Hi guys, I am so happy to be here with you for the market recap. This is Adara. You may know who I am. I have been giving you guys all the news updates and that AppLovin news in particular. That was crazy, but I will not be alone this entire night. We are lucky enough to have Michael Noss here with us. I think he's going to come in a little bit earlier than usual, so we'll be giving that for you guys, of course. And if you have any questions for Michael Noss, tag me right now in the chat at Adara LePage, and then you can get all those questions to me so that I can get them to Michael Noss. And let's go over the biggest stories today. It's been a record-breaking Monday with OpenAI locking in a $1 trillion AI power play with this AMD deal. Now, they did not specify the actual monetary amount of the deal, but rest assured it is a pretty major one. It's actually seen as one of the largest GPUs deals in recent history as of right now. So let's get into that. It is worth noting here, even after Nvidia just took a stake in OpenAI, now we've got OpenAI taking a stake in another chip named AMD. They can take up to a 10% stake due to a warrant agreement with AMD. Now, this warrant agreement also involves tranches, so AMD can't really benefit unless they continue to fulfill all of the requirements of their agreement in a timely manner. Now, one thing that isn't directly related to this deal, but that I do think is interesting, is Lisa Su was asked during a Bloomberg interview about this OpenAI deal, hey, are you guys going to work with the Intel for their foundry business, as was reported last week? And without naming Intel directly or without being too rude about it, she basically said, we are a customer of TSM. So it does not sound like that Intel and AMD foundry deal is in the works anytime soon. But you know what's in the works? New highs for Bitcoin. BTC did an incredible job all weekend, especially yesterday with that pop above 125,000 for the first time. And it rocketed for a lot of this morning session as well. So solid performance for Bitcoin. And congrats to anybody who is long that name. Now, if you're long Tesla, you had a great day today, especially with that 450 breakout. This was a nice look technically. And this could be a really nice look tomorrow and Wednesday as well. Why? Because two videos are posted to Tesla's X account, both of which seem to imply there's going to be a new announcement, and that announcement could come as soon as Tuesday. Why do we say Tuesday? Because there was some 10/7 imagery in the videos, which again would suggest October 7th. That would be tomorrow. Now, what are we actually expecting in terms of the launch here, or the event, or the product? Well, a lot of people are speculating it could be one of two long-awaited Tesla products. The Roadster, which is that 0 to 100 vehicle, or it could also be the more affordable model. Now, that is speculated to be a more affordable Model Y. So we're going to have to wait and see if that actually comes to fruition. But either way, that's going to be something on watch. A propeller image in one of the videos also led some people to think this could be an eVTOL-related play. So JOBY, Joby Aviation, and Archer Aviation, ACHR, were both on watch there. We'll also talk here about Nvidia. Goldman Sachs, the generally bullish note, raising their price target to $210 from $200 already. They maintained their buy rating, but they said there could be some concerns about Nvidia's circular revenue with a lot of these deals that they've been making. Now, as I mentioned earlier, they invested a whole bunch into OpenAI. That was announced last week. Now, they've also, NVDA has been investing in some other companies as well, so that's going to be on watch. We had that Intel deal. If they keep making these deals, this is something that investors could be wary of, so something to note there. And OPEC Plus also, with this slight production hike, adding just 137,000 barrels per day for November. That is the same as October, so it does signal some caution. Though it's worth noting, they already kind of indicated that the hike wasn't going to be super excessive, so kind of, I guess, par for the course. But oil, maybe not liking that story so much. Let's see if we have Archer Aviation earnings. Not Archer, AEHR, Air Test Systems. We do have earnings from Air Test Systems, so let's go through these. $11 million here in net revenue versus $13.1 million last year. So this looks like a year-over-year decline. Now, their GAAP loss per share also down on a year-over-year basis. I'm not seeing how these compares to estimates. The estimate I did see for their revenue was a bit higher. So let's find out a little bit more. But we're going to get more. I'll let you know. But either way, this sounds like we had a decline for both earnings and revenue on a year-over-year basis for AEHR. Not a great way to start the day. Let's take a look as well here over, if I can switch screens, on STZ, Constellation Brands. Now, I was seeing apparently their earnings have been postponed, but apparently not, because we have these earnings out and they are not linked here. When I get those numbers, I will let you know. I'm just going to move these pages around so that I can see them right when they arrive. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions for me or for Michael Noss, definitely drop those in the chat so that we can go over them with him. Michael Noss always has a lot to say, and I've got a lot of questions for him already, but certainly I want to hear what you guys have to say to Michael Noss. Thank you again for Charlie Kirk with that $250 super chat. And he traded AppLovin, so let's actually look at AppLovin here. And I want to look at a wider time frame for AppLovin too, because this stock has had quite the whirlwind. We made all-time highs really recently on their S&P 500 edition. This is also a stock that tends to be, especially for at its peak, $750 name. This is a pretty volatile stock intraday. Now, as you can see, we had this great run up into the S&P 500 inclusion. We gapped up last Monday, and that was kind of where a lot of the strength ended for AppLovin. Now we are on a 4-day losing streak. For APP, we bounced really nicely off that $550 level. We're going to have to wait and see how we're able to hold up there. But either way, I think AppLovin is certainly a stock a lot of people will be watching heading into tomorrow. Now, I think, are we ready for Michael Noss? Yeah, we'll find out. I'm just going to get set up here. And then we might be able to let in our guest, Michael Noss of Stats Edge, for some questions and for some trader talk. Let me know when we're good to go over there so that we can get this Q&A going. And are we good? No, we're not good yet. So let's keep talking. App hating, says Howard in the chat. Certainly, yeah, I think some investors were hating on AppLovin today. That is for sure. And yeah, SEC waits until the S&P to do their jobs. Yeah, I know a lot of people have been saying that about AppLovin. We did have a lot of short reports, as I mentioned when I first broke this story earlier this year. So perhaps not super shocking that there are some concerns to go with that bearishness. But yeah, I mean, I guess we're going to have to see once we get more details as to the report and to the probe, how things work out for AppLovin. It is a little bit interesting that right when we get them added to the S&P 500, there is a little bit of a hit to the company, at the very least the company's reputation. STZ, I did actually get these earnings here. I know I did mention that we had the earnings, but I couldn't see the numbers. So they did post a double beat, adjusted earnings of 363 versus 338 expected. That is a beat. Sales, $2.481 billion, above estimates of $2.459 billion. So a double beat for Constellation. They did affirm their fiscal 2026 adjusted earnings guidance, which is basically in line with estimates, the midpoint a little bit below. But either way, they are guiding adjusted earnings for the year between $11.30 to $11.60. That midpoint would be $11.45, which is just below estimates of $11.49. Now, again, they affirmed their fiscal 2026 adjusted EPS, but they actually lowered their GAAP EPS for the year. They're now guiding GAAP earnings between $9.86 and $10.16 per share versus estimates of $11.35 per share. So big miss there for that GAAP EPS estimate. But you know what's not a miss? Michael Noss. So without further ado, we're going to bring Michael Noss in for this trader talk. Thank you so much for being here with us. Michael, always a pleasure to have you on the show. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing fantastic. What more can you want? It seems everything's making an all-time high. So this is fun. The music will stop at some point, but for now, it's been a blast.
Yeah, it's been a really eventful session, I think, for sure. Lots to look at. Now, I want to mention one story that kind of came in later in the day. I did mention it a couple minutes ago. AppLovin reportedly facing an SEC probe. Now, this name had a massive push to the upside. And the low it made today maybe looks like a bit of a technical level. What are your thoughts here on APP as of right now, if there's anything technical you're seeing on this?
It brings me back to, and you know, us technicians love analogs, brings me back to SMCI. For those who, I guess, weren't trading there, this jumped right from the small caps and jumped to the mid caps and right into the S&P. And it seemed like right after the S&P found something, or the SEC investigated, or DOJ, or some three-letter organization, and it went from, I think it was like $120 all the way down, 85% pullback before it happened. So I'm not saying that's happening, but it's just the most recent event that I could see of something getting upgraded and uplisted so far, and then immediately falling out of favor. So I don't know. I have a rule that I can't touch anything that's under investigation, because you never know when that next shoe is going to drop. So for me, it's just if I was long, I'd probably be getting out right now, and then, you know, wake me up in 6 months once this is all over.
Yeah, no, that SMCI comparison, Michael, I really like as well, because much like SMCI, AppLovin also faced a whole bunch of short reports before we got that three-letter organization investigation, right? So, yeah, I think that's a great comparison. I think certainly a chart for people who are considering AppLovin. Maybe look back at SMCI about a year ago and kind of see how that one went. Now, I want to talk to you as well about this Wolverine, I believe, WWW. I might be having the ticker wrong. You mentioned this one as the Stats Edge trade of the week. Now, I think that's pretty interesting because you said this was specifically for a 1 week swing trade. So I guess I'm wondering, can you tell us a little bit more about what this algorithm is actually looking for to identify this type of setup, and then specifically why you like this one here?
Yeah, so this is so again, over at Stats Edge, we run systems, which just essentially means I've done a lot of back testing on a system is kind of like a scan, except it gives an exact entry and exit criteria and how much to hold and everything involved with it. And then I can back test a portfolio of trading these systems back 25 or so years. And this is one of my favorites, and it's essentially just mean reversion, which is just kind of the opposite of buying breakouts. It's buying things that are down a little bit too much. And without giving away all the secret sauce, it's just essentially a twist on Larry Williams' 2-period RSI strategy, if anyone wants to look it up. But it's just looking for short-term oversold in something that's in a great uptrend. I always say you don't want to mean revert junk, so you don't want to buy things like that are under investigation, I guess, for short-term bounces. But in a stock like this that has gone from $10 to $30, I think they just make shoes from $10 to $30 in a short period of time, and has been pulling back. And if you zoom in, this is a pretty orderly pullback. This seems like someone, a large institution, just kind of getting out of a position and triggered right where our purple area is right here. That's where the algorithm said to buy. But then also when I zoom left, I see a lot of congestion over here from 2024 to the beginning of 2025. So I know that there has been at least some interest in the security at that particular price. So that makes me a little bit more confident that, the system that I have 25 years of back test, and it's right about 55-60% of the time, that's saying that this is a good place to buy, and that I can combine that with a little technical analysis and say, yeah, at least in the past, this thing was very interesting at this level. So it seems like a good place to defend. And again, this is a 1 week trade. So we buy them on Monday, and then we look to sell them the next Monday, because especially with mean reversion, you want to get in, you want to take your money, and then you want to get out, because technically, you are trading something that, at least in the short run, is in a downtrend, even though in the long run, it's in an uptrend. So I don't like fighting trends. So when I do it, I want to be in, I want to be out quickly.
Yeah, great analysis there. Now, I want to ask about one that we talked about last week, or certainly that you posted about on X last week, and that would be Microsoft. So you mentioned that one kind of heading into a breakout. We actually did get a nice little push, especially late into last week. Now, did you get involved in this name? And either way, what are you kind of seeing for this from this point on at this levels?
Yeah, I bought a little bit of Microsoft today on the breakout, and I like all of these names. I think CoreWeave is another, and then we saw AMD today, and they're kind of just buying OpenAI by proxy, right? The idea is that us normal people, we can't get exposure to OpenAI the way private equity investors and venture capitalists can, because there's no reason for OpenAI to become listed. Why? You only become listed when you need access to capital markets. And, Sam Altman could open up his window and ask for $1 billion, and someone would just throw it at him at this point. So they're not going public anytime soon. So that means that institutions that want access to OpenAI are going to have to do it through proxies. And that's, again, we're seeing it every time anyone announces any sort of a deal with OpenAI, you get a big spike. So I think that that's kind of been more interesting lately with this AMD news, and that may have caused this Microsoft breakout. So I just want to participate in that, again, as a great proxy for the OpenAI trade as a whole, without specifically having to focus on the semiconductor industry.
So yeah, it's a really good point. I think we have a lot of audience questions that I want to get to for you, but I do want to ask one more that I have that I think is a pretty fun one. You mentioned Fartcoin and the possibility of a 420 breakout on your X. Now, I want to hear a little bit more about that Fartcoin breakout, but also just in general with crypto, with Bitcoin at that new all-time high. Are there any other, maybe more, for lack of a better term, mainstream crypto plays you have your eyes on here, like Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, anything like that? I guess just your thoughts on the crypto space right now.
Sure. So This is essentially getting leverage down the cap scale. And the way I look at it is no difference from if I want leverage on the market, I can then go to more speculative plays. So think of your quantum computer stocks as essentially a way to get leverage on the equity market as a whole. So these speculative type coins are just that for me, right? There's no reason for this thing to exist. I guess we'll put it that way. But the chart does look kind of cup and handily. Full disclosure, I'm already in. I bought some at 50 cents or so on the breakout. And just drawing a Fibonacci extension from this low, this high to this low, that puts us at 432. And how poetic would it be if we had Fartcoin go to 420 at some point? So if you measure technically the breakout here, that is what would happen. And that's kind of what I was mentioning. And partly a meme, and then, partly I also own like 15,000 of these Fartcoins. So it would be fantastic if we got there for me. From the crypto space as a whole, right, new all-time highs in Bitcoin. You can't knock that in any way, shape, or form. So then the question is, are we going to start going down the crypto cap scale? And the way I look at that is simply this. You have Bitcoin breaking new all-time highs. We have Ethereum that's close, but acting perfectly, in which it ran to this recent all-time high in pretty much a straight line. It went up like 200% to hit there, and then just has been consolidating for weeks. And now it's looking like it's turning around and potentially breaking through. So if we have Bitcoin all-time high, we have now Ethereum, which is kind of the next level down, close to an all-time high, then it only makes sense that Solana should be next, which is where all of these meme coins are kind of made, and they're hitting all-time highs as well. So I think Fartcoin is one way to play it. Another one that looks actually really technically sound is this Pengu. Again, none of these have any reason to exist, but if you're just looking for cup and handle style plays, this one looks as textbook as it is. So I think just like in the equity space, where after some sort of big pullback or bear market, you look at the equities that were priced as if they were going to go to zero, but didn't. I think it's the same with a lot of these meme coins and even, other projects when it comes to things that are built on Ethereum, like Mana or something like this, is look for ones that were so incredibly beaten down that it looked like they were going to just completely disappear, but didn't. And if they start to resolve long bases higher, I, for one, am going to be buying them and just kind of spreading my money out. So all I have to do is nail one or two of these things that if they get back to all-time highs, it's like a 10x. But I just really want to remind people there is no reason for these to exist. There's no intrinsic value that will save you. So if you're going to trade one of these, make sure it is purely speculative. And, if I wake up tomorrow and Fartcoin is completely gone to zero, I won't be that upset. I'll be just kind of mildly upset.
Yeah, I think always interesting to look at some of these crypto plays that we don't talk about quite as much. So thank you for going over those, Michael. Now, I do want to get to a couple questions from our audience here. AWOW104 in the chat wanting to know your thoughts on C3 AI, if you don't mind pulling up that chart for us.
Yeah, so this is one of those, it is putting in that kind of low base that I really like. But the way I look at it is this market, everything is going up, right? Today alone, we had the Qs make a new all-time high. We had the SPYs make a new all-time high. We had IWM make a new all-time high. We had Bitcoin make a new all-time high. And Ethereum is just like right there. So then when I look at something like this that is kind of really beaten down and just seemingly can't get off the mat, I just wonder why I would focus there. And so what I would encourage for people like this is just to grab Perplexity or ChatGPT or whatever it is, and just read some studies about buying stocks that are making new 52-week highs versus buying stocks that are making new 52-week lows. Now, turns out buying stocks making new 52-week highs are always generally perform way better than ones making new 52-week lows. So this one, it just looks like every time there's a rally here, it just gets sold into, and that makes me think that there's some amount of either bag holding or the company is trying to raise money or something, and that's just holding this down. So this is just not something I could participate in until it got to, even like $30. So that's like a 50% move from here before I'd even be interested in taking a look.
I want to ask you about a more recent IPO here as well. Again, another audience question. Thank you to Mikey44 in the chat wanting a review of CoreWeave.
Yeah, so this is going to go in the same spectrum, I guess, as Microsoft, as AMD now. Anything that attaches itself to OpenAI in any way, shape, or form is interesting. Full disclosure, again, I own some of this stuff. I'll always tell you guys, I own a lot of things right now. But the line I have here, the blue line, is actually the anchored VWAP from its IPO. So the reason that this is important is it kind of represents everybody, the average price of everybody in the stock from the moment it IPO'd. And it did what most people who trade IPOs look for, in which 80% of IPOs generally undercut their IPO price in the first 6 months. It did that. It opened up, it rallied a little bit, undercut its IPO price, and then did this insane rip. So for me, what I'm looking for, as long as it's holding this blue line, that means the average market participant in CoreWeave is up money and having a good time. But I quickly want to see a move through this. You can see already I had all this marked up. This move through this purple area. This is the resistance zone that we've seen 3 times now kind of act as resistance. That's sitting around 130 to 140 area. I want to see us quickly get above that and then make a shot at new all-time highs. If we reverse back down and we break this anchored VWAP, then it's time to go. So I just want to see this participate in some sort of OpenAI hype cycle, and then I'll stay involved. But that blue line right there, the AVWAP IPO, that's my line in the sand.
That makes sense. I do have one more question for you, Michael, if you don't mind.
Sure.
From the audience, from Famita in the chat, asking about a couple different tickers, but I want to focus on one in particular that made a great move into the close. Opendoor. What are your thoughts on the technicals here? I know this one is a little different given the meme excitement.
Do I own every stock? Because I feel like I'm just saying this every time. Is I own some Opendoor as well, and the reason I own some Opendoor, and I am out of a large majority of this position now. I bought a little bit on this second leg higher around $3 or $4. And the main reason behind this is that this below chart, this black line, is the short float of Opendoor. And there's 2 parts to short float that are interesting to me. One is, how much are they short, right? What's the percentage overall that the company is shorted? In this case, it's 27%. So say 30% is short. The other side of this is, where are they short, right? Because I'm sorry to pick on AMC again, but I always use AMC for an example that it may be heavily shorted, but the stock's down 99.9%. So those shorts are not worried in any way, shape, or form. They're doing absolutely fine. The stock could quadruple from here and they would still be making money. So to have shorts in pain, you need those 2 things. You need them to be heavily shorted and underwater. And if you see where this chart really started to rise from about 10% to about 25, 30%, that happened all under $1. So we know that most people that are short this company are short under $1, and it's at $10 now. So they are down 1,000% on their short float. So I am sticking with this one. With the rest of my position, I got out most around the $10 area on this candle. But until I see this short float unwind, I'm not really too concerned with what the chart says, period. Although it looks nice, it's just basing up and near these highs after this move higher. But the way I look at that is, until these guys cover their shorts, there has to be some amount of buying. Means every dip, there's going to be somebody waiting there in order to buy. It's like that reverse of the OpenAI play, where there's not bag holders, there's whatever the reverse of bag holders are holding up this particular stock. So yes, for this one, I need to see that short float unwind before I'm at all interested in selling. The one caveat being that it will always be late. So the short float reports every 2 weeks, and it's a lagging 2 weeks. So by the time I know that they covered, by the time any of us know that they covered, they're already gone, and they've been out for a while now. But pay attention to that short float. Look for that to unwind. I think that'll be your first clue to, it's no longer a short squeeze play. Now it's just whether or not you like the fundamentals and whether or not the trend continues.
Yeah, very cool chart and way to look at this type of stock. Thank you so much for being here with us. Michael Noss, CMT over at Stats Edge. Sorry. Thank you again for being here, and make sure to check out Stats Edge. Have a good night, Michael. Thanks.
Thanks for having me. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. So that is our Trader Talk segment. I want to have a fun button like Sean, so no fancy outro, but We do have a couple things more to talk about. Let's talk about AppLovin because a couple pieces of news transpired while we were lucky enough to get to talk to Michael Noss there and get some of his thoughts on these tickers. AppLovin APP actually releasing a statement a year after, again, these reports from Bloomberg suggesting that SEC is investigating them. They said that generally they don't actually comment on the existence or non-existence of any potential regulatory matters, so already pretty squirrely, but then they say, as a global public company, we regularly engage with regulators, and if we get inquiries, we address them in the ordinary course. Material developments, if any, would be disclosed through the appropriate public channels. So that is basically a non-answer, is what that is. But either way, I want to let you guys know AppLovin did sort of address these allegations, again, from Bloomberg, that they're facing a probe with regards to how they collect data from the SEC. Let's talk here about AEHR because they did get earnings. As I mentioned, the AEHR report, it did look like they had a year-over-year decline for both revenue and for sales. But even with that, they actually beat on both metrics. Q1 earnings, or at the very least in line here for earnings per share, $1. As I mentioned, the non-adjusted, it was a loss. But I guess adjusted here, they are in line. Sales were a beat, 10.969 million versus 10.775 million, but that did mark a year-over-year decline for the company. STZ, not sure if this is going to be, yeah, so STZ is a NYSE name. I'll pull that up over here for STZ, Constellation Brands. We got those numbers as well. And look at that little climb here for STZ. Now, why? Because they actually posted a double beat. I went over these numbers earlier, but I'll put them up on the screen so you guys can see them. EPS and sales beat, both fairly hefty here for STZ. Now, they did affirm their fiscal 2026 EPS guidance. Midpoint was slightly below estimates, but they lowered their GAAP EPS guidance for the fiscal year, and that GAAP EPS guidance well below estimates. So pretty mixed guidance, but solid report for STZ. Guys, only 2 minutes left until we end this show. I do want to mention one other ticker here that had some news that came out post-market, and it's going to be XOM. Or ExxonMobil. We know that Occidental was in watch last week with some news with Warren Buffett and Berkshire. We know CVX was in news last week, unfortunately, with the refinery fire. Well, now we have some news here on Occidental. Sorry, not Occidental, XOM here. That is our friend ExxonMobil. And apparently they have their Q3 outlook. They're expecting the impact here from gas prices to be either $200 million loss to a $200 million gain. So that, I guess, pretty mixed guidance, sending the stock for a little bit of a tumble post-market, though, again, nothing severe, if anything, slightly lower than where we closed. But speaking of closing, we do have to eventually, unfortunately, have the show come to an end at some point. So we are going to bid you all adieu, and you guys know how we do that over here at tradertv.live. We do something called the roll call. So get in that chat, and I will name you all. I will thank everybody for being here. I do want to say a big thank you to I'm Charlie Kirk in the chat. Thank you very much for that big super chat and for your support for the show, because we sincerely appreciate it. Thank you to Finch, Jane, Evan Flow Portfolio, Others Inc., Andrew Chow, Joseph Brown, Hellsgate, Conway, LJ, Lass, Sean, Speedygate 747. We've got Jacques Demorier, Terran Line Tycoon Fundamental, Girl Trader, Ichiro, Ozan, Harpreet, Silverado Blue, Ed George, Low Family, Badco, Meraki's, 246. We've got Mike Lowry, NYC Urbanese, Silverado Blue, Finch Jane, Boston Frank Howard, Jai Singh, Donkey Trader, A Day in the Life, RB, Ronnie R, Wicked Junkie Trades, and we'll end with Swizzler Sniper. Thank you all for being here every single day, and thank you also to our awesome team production. We've got Ramin, Fabian, Andre, we have Brendan, we have Sharif, we've got Joe, we have Obi and Sean today on the main show. We'll get Neil getting back in tomorrow, and thank you everyone for being here every single day. And guess what? We'll see you all tomorrow, bright and early, 8:30 a.m. Don't be late. See you then, guys. Peace out.